just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. I have the great Tom and Eddie and Tom with me. How you going, fellas? I mean, wow, your beer's looking thick.
Buongiorno, Denon. Yeah, it is. It's just growing.
Yeah. Is that testament to you getting dominated by a thick boy on the weekend?
The beard, the thickness of my beard has nothing to do with the thick boy from the weekend. And I mean, I'm happy just to straight, off the rip, get into the thickness that we dealt with as a club on the weekend, if that's what you're asking of me. We see it a little differently in terms of the game. But yeah, we were fisted by a thick boy on the weekend. There's no other way of looking at it. But not just a thick boy, though. That man was and he is thickness personified.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He's the face of thickness.
He's thickness to the power of thickness.
Yeah. So he's thickness squared.
Yeah.
Thickness squared.
Do you understand how that works? That's thickness times thickness.
And there are like
equals Talakai.
But there's only a few people as thick that are true thickness.
Yeah, okay.
And he's one of them.
Okay.
But like you might even say like, oh, Adam Fanua Blake, he's thick. He's not true thickness. He is thick. Don't get me wrong. But true thickness pairs many different factors like speed, power, size, thickness.
The ability to fist people with
the ability to fist someone with a football in one hand and a clenched fist in the other whilst playing rugby league.
Yeah.
There's not many that can do it. Talakai, thick and fisting.
Yeah.
A thick mouthful. A thick rugby league mouthful.
Well, he's just thick.
Yeah.
He's just thick. And there's no other way to put it. I was there on Thursday night, obviously, because I love the club.
And you were spotted, the celebrity spotted too?
I was, yeah. Well, I was buoying the boys. That's when the comeback was on. Olakwatu crosses the chalk.
We'll get that picture up as well.
Paint all over his fucking face, just chomping for rugby league football.
Yeah.
But Talakai in person, thicker than on, like he's even thicker.
Thicker than he is on paper.
Yeah. Like, he's thick.
So on paper, he's pretty thick.
On paper, he's thick. On TV, he's thick.
Yeah.
But in real life, he's fucking outrageously thick. It's crazy how thick he is.
Thick shake kind of stuff.
Yeah, but even like, mate, a Macca's thick shake, pretty thick.
Yeah.
Way thicker than
We're
that.
talking like you can't even drink with the straw thick.
It wouldn't go up the straw.
No, it wouldn't go up the straw.
It wouldn't go up the straw. Need a straw this fucking wide.
But also, you'd need some suction to try and even get something that thick up a straw. You might have enough like room for the thickness
Sucking
to travel up the straw.
Sucking a thickie.
But if you're going to suck a thickie, you got to have.
Dyson couldn't suck Talakai through a straw. No way.
They've tried though. That's the test of a good vacuum cleaner. You just put it on a bowling ball. But look, pick it up.
Yeah.
If you can pick up Talakai, you've got a vacuum cleaner you can take home to mum.
Except no vacuum cleaner.
They don't exist.
Yeah.
No,
Catch 22.
Okay.
They don't exist.
Have you tried sucking a thickie?
Yeah, of course.
It's a thick shake.
A thick shake or
easy.
Yeah.
Thick shake's no dramas.
Okay.
Trying to suck Talakai
if you couldn't
through a straw.
If you couldn't suck a thick shake, they wouldn't sell them.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be a waste of a product.
Oh, that's right. It'd be a waste of money.
Yeah.
And you have one, and then you wouldn't get one again. You go, I can't drink that fucking thing.
I've now just got a thick shake sitting in my car. I can't get it.
Exactly.
Right.
But Talakai,
you don't want to actually be able to suck it Talakai through a straw.
well, you can't sip on Talakai.
No, you can't.
It's too thick. Does that help?
Thickness
That
squared.
helps a lot. You've given me a good, angle on the game.
Yeah.
How did you pull up after the game, obviously getting fisted over the weekend?
Well, we
That's not
won.
great. Oh, you won.
It was a win.
It's a win.
Look, good. Any rugby league mathematician worth their salt will see the game for what it was, and that was ultimately a Manly win. Now, the scoreline officially, and you'll be able to see this on at least one of our social channels, YouTube, Instagram, but we have actually just recorded our first Hello Sport University lecture.
Okay.
Rugby league math. And so basically we talk about the official score not actually being the official score. Eddie a little bit more au fait with numbers than me. I was just more of a whiteboard operator, but Eddie, I'd invite you now just to speak to the numbers a little bit more for the punter and dribbler at home.
Look, I am the numbers guy in this little duet that we've got going on.
Oh, it's not little. It's big.
Well, whatever. Your words, not mine. This is what the math suggests, and this would be the message from Des and all the way through the assistant coaching setup
Desi
to
loves
the
his
boys
numbers.
this week.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be worried about that performance for a couple of simple reasons.
Yeah.
And Morgan Harper didn't have his best game, we know that. Morgan knows that. Morgan hooked at halftime, got the halftime hook. Kenakola, Stubby Cooler, however you pronounce it. Sorry, brah. He goes onto the field. there wasn't a try scored in the second half. Not a single rugby league try. As soon as that channel was fucking shored up. And it was.
Yeah.
That dike was plugged. That's a dam reference, not a...
Once that river was dammed, and it was, there was no more tries.
Okay.
So you can take away, so assume Cooler starts the first half, then it's fucking, it's
They
don't score a point.
They scored 2 points.
They scored 2 points in the whole fucking game.
Yeah, okay.
Now Manly scores 22 points, do we not? Yes, we do. What's Tommy worth?
What's 40?
40 points.
Yeah.
We all agree on that.
What's
the whole community?
What's 22 plus 40?
62.
All right, so we're at 62 points.
Josh Alloway didn't play either. He sets the tone. He's a tone setter of tone.
Yeah.
He's our number one front rower at the moment this season.
Who's a tone setter?
What do you reckon he's worth? Vibe,
10 points.
I'd say.
10 points.
At a pinch?
A front rower.
He's not scoring them. It's about what he provides to the side, Denver.
Yeah,
you ever
okay.
heard of rugby league?
Have you heard of go forward?
Grow forward or go forward?
Go forward. You can grow off the back of good go forward.
Yeah, you can.
As a side. So that's 10 points. So we arrive, I think, pretty conservatively
Yeah.
at 72-2. That's the message in the sheds this week.
Holy shit.
Quite a turnaround.
That's crazy. So did you or didn't you get fisted on the weekend then?
Look, certain elements of the Manly Seagulls side certainly felt a warm fist inside their arse. There's no doubting that.
Potentially there was a scapegoat or someone who felt the full force.
The full fist, the full five knuckles, and we're not prepared to. We don't throw. That's not what we're about here. We're talking about positives.
Yeah.
There was a fisting that went down, but ultimately the holistic totality of the game was a Manly victory.
Yeah,
Look, someone may have been pulled off at half time and sewed back up and left to rest.
Yeah, sit on an ice pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But, outside of that, again, as the math suggests,
Numbers don't lie.
they don't lie.
Okay. What about the number that they got the 2 points? What about that number?
They scored 2 points, yeah.
No. On the ladder, they got the 2 points.
Yeah, I know. There's
official channels.
There's official,
This is alternative facts.
Look, all I'm saying is you can take the 2 points. We don't give a fuck. We're still in the 8.
Comfortably entrenched.
The message is about what do we take away from this game?
Yeah, okay.
And what we take away is that we won 72-2, right?
It wasn't even close.
And that bodes well for Manly moving forward throughout the year and then, sailing into September.
Okay. Would you say it was a bad night at the office or a good night at the office?
Great night at the office.
Great night at the office.
It was good.
Okay.
Verging on great.
Verging on great. Holy shit.
Yeah. That's how I see it.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Because I saw
That's how the club sees it.
I saw you get pounded into the core of the earth. That's what I saw.
Well, one bloke did.
So you just
no.
I mean, what? You just fucking throw him to the wolves?
We're not throwing anyone to the wolves.
Throw him to the wolves.
You can have a bad night.
Every single try they scored went through a specific channel. That's all I'm saying. And once that channel was shored up,
Yeah, okay.
no more tries were scored.
But that's not laying blame. That's you can have a bad day on the golf course. You can have a bad night, playing poker. You can have a bad podcast. Rarely, But you can fuck up from time to time, and that channel had a tough night.
Like
Okay.
Matty's fucked up before.
Matty fucks up all the time.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember when he just didn't turn the cameras on that time?
Yeah. And he
Was
does
all
get
that good.
He does get fisted.
But he's good.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He's just had an off
Sometimes.
night.
Yeah.
So, some people sometimes have off nights.
It was an off night from a player who's better than that.
So one player had an off night, but everyone else played well.
I'm not going to blame the entire thing on the one player, but certainly there was some other people around that player. Only one player was hooked at halftime.
Now, what would you say to the people? And I would never say this. But you've had some wins and without Tommy, and that's all great. But as soon as you get to some big swinging dicks, you get turkey slapped. AKA Ryan Girdler.
Now listen, Ryan's a friend, sort of. What Ryan said has been an unfortunate thing that it seems to have stuck over the last sort of
Really?
six
I mean,
months
it's
since he
stuck.
said
It's
it.
super glue kind of stuff.
But we've got a long list of injuries. I don't have the list in front of me, but I'm pretty sure officially we have the most injuries of any club in the NRL.
Long list.
in the history of the game.
Not in the history of the game,
No,
probably, but
maybe.
certainly this season. But you take Aloye, Tapau, Turbo, Schuster, Finau, if you want to, Kepi out of that side,
Yeah.
and you still win 72.
So you're looking at 100-2 pretty much.
Well, exactly.
Well,
if you wanted to,
your
we
words.
didn't want to take the piss, so we didn't want to add them in and sort of.
Okay. Yeah,
we wanted
fair
to
enough.
we didn't want to be silly with it.
Okay.
Look, at the end of the day, we weren't full strength, far from it. I think 34-22 is flattering to the Sharks.
Four.
We're
Laps.
essentially trying to box with one arm behind our back.
Yeah, okay.
And we still won.
Okay. But they weren't missing any players, or were they missing players as
No,
well?
they weren't missing anyone.
That's full strength side.
No, they were full strength.
Full strength.
It all adds up, boys. You've got me there.
Yeah, sorry,
I
dude.
thought I was coming in for a big win today,
Nah, dude, sorry.
Nah.
You've been
Fucking
beaten by
hell.
math.
but so, yeah.
Probably not for the first time.
Look, I am a footy player. Didn't finish
Didn't
school.
finish high school.
Yeah. Brought to you by Bloke in a Bar. 12 stores here in Spotlight. We were talking about omens. The Hastings Hotel, Port Macquarie. That must be a good hotel. It's called Hastings.
Gotta
Hastings
be.
obviously playing out of his skin. Exchange Hotel, Taree. That's home of the great Latrell Mitchell. Corkscrew Cellars, Rose Bay.
Home of the
Bottler-
great. I sort of live near there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Matty, did you know he sort of lives near
Dude,
Rose Bay?
It's right near Pluma. I go there all the time.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. I see Bloke in there and I'm like, I know that guy.
He almost, but doesn't live there.
Yeah.
Close.
Dude, like I could walk there. I could walk there to
You
Corkscrew
could walk
Cellars Road Bay.
anywhere, technically.
That's a great point. I could walk to Hastings Hotel, Port Macquarie.
Our great ancestors
Used to walk everywhere.
Yeah.
walked from Africa across the globe, so you can walk.
So someone in Africa's like, oh, I live near Australia, but not really. I can walk there.
Look,
How'd
I
we
live
get here?
walking distance.
How we get it? Good point.
How did humans?
Get to Australia?
Yeah.
So that was that a point of him proving that he lived near Australia?
Yeah.
And he goes, bro, I'll walk there. No, you won't. To get
Yeah,
I
I
will.
walk there.
Fucking oath I will. It's fucking just down the road, mate.
I'll show you, cunt. Then he got here, and then he had no way of telling him.
No.
And then the land split up, and he was
Yeah.
like, fuck, can't get
Fuck,
back.
I can't even prove
He
it.
goes, fuck it. I'm not going anywhere.
No. Too much work.
Well, you got me there
Yeah.
again. That's 2-0 to you guys.
Yeah, dude.
It is 2-0.
2-0 to you
We're
guys.
Something in the air today. Let's start chalking up W's.
The Bottle Mittagong.
Used to live near there, Barrel, right next to Mittagong. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Mo Bottle Mart Victoria. Liquor Emporium in all stores, Liquor Emporium. And matter of fact, Liquor Emporium has been with us since day dot. I'm talking day one since launch. So get into your Liquor Emporium,
Love that.
support your local. They've supported us from day one. Colmsley Hotel Morningside. Fleet Street Cellars Camp Hill, Royal Hotel Toowoomba, Club Hotel in Roma, the Great Roma, Waterloo Bay Hotel Wynnum, Narangba Valley Tavern.
Nice.
Nice.
Boom.
Now, Bennett has gone on the record to say they're keen to have Munster at Redcliffe, whether it's 2023 or 2024. He said, I'm not overly confident, but I'm not underly confident either.
Ooh,
Sure.
Sure.
I like the use of underly.
Yeah. Is
there's
it even a word? Has
No.
he made that up? I don't think underly's a word.
I think Wayne,
Wayne does what he wants.
he does what he wants.
Wayne's allowed to make up words if he wants, I
yes.
think.
He's earned the right to make a word
Yeah, I
up.
think
Not,
so.
not a lot of words up, but a
Wayndely.
few. Wayndely. It's a Wayndely.
Yeah.
It's Whamily. Grammarly.
There's a there's a fair bit to be done, but we feel we're heading in the right direction in regards to our end of the bargain. Sorry. Hopefully, Cameron will want to come. The master coach says he wants ya. The Storm have said you've got to take a pay cut. Munster's dick seems to get bigger by the week.
Yeah.
It's huge now.
It's fucking getting real big.
It was always big.
It's visible from
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Literally.
I like how Bennett says that they're keen to have Munster at Redcliffe even if it's in 2024.
Yeah, like, fuck your contract.
Yeah. No, as in like, well, if he's not coming next year, then we don't want him.
Well, yeah, but it's also like, of course,
You know what I mean?
that might be the most obvious
You
statement
take him in
I've ever read.
2025 as well, I think, bro.
Yeah, you take him at any point. You have, listen, they are building, at least what some people are saying, a serious nut trucker side on paper at the moment. They need like,
Gilbert recently signed.
Yep.
Which I am a fan of what they've built nut trucking wise.
same.
I think they've actually done really well.
They've
in the
got
club.
some good, honest truckers of nut.
Yeah.
Well, you need cement. Now they just need a brick.
They just, we've talked about this.
Yeah. They got
That's what they
cement.
need.
They got cement for
They got
days.
so much cement.
Mortar out their ass.
Yeah.
Fucking oath they do. Plenty of mortar.
And now it's time to,
It's now time to get a couple of bricks in there.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, Gilbert signs. I think that's a great signing. But Munster, I mean, sure, what are you doing if you're Munster? I know this seems to be ongoing, but it just seems to be ramping up now that Ponga has signed with Knights. Have we discussed that on this podcast? Ponga signing? No. We haven't. Thoughts on the Ponga signing?
I think it's great for the club.
great for the club.
Great for the club.
Not form-wise for the club. He's good.
He was good last week.
Yeah. But like the club is
didn't go too well.
not going great. But having him's good. It's been a bit weird. I am a very pro Ponga, pro player.
You're a pro hot boy.
I'm pro hot boy. The Knights thing the way it was all handled has been a bit weird. And I don't know
Do you
how
it's
much
manufactured though?
Well, that's the thing. I
Yeah.
don't know how much I'm just sort of tasting mayo on the wind and how much of it's good, honest mayo.
Well, you wouldn't be smelling it, would you?
No, that's why I'm tasting on my tongue.
Yeah.
I can't smell.
Because he can't smell.
I can't smell.
Everyone, Tom can't smell.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's
He also
a
has
disability.
kids.
I got kids. We worked in radio once, and I can't smell.
And he lives
labouring.
near.
And I live near Rose Bay. Did some labouring.
Et al.
Taught myself to jackhammer.
In like the workspace, taught himself how to jackhammer.
Yeah. It was kind of weird. Like, do players, with the like big press conferences to announce signings and all that sort of shit?
I think of his caliber. I think that's the new thing.
The new thing.
It's all part of the pizzazz.
Is that part of the pizzazz?
Yeah.
Is that part of the soap opera now?
Look, if I'm paying $1 million for a bloke, I want a bit of pizzazz.
I'm not mad at it.
100%.
Yeah.
You don't just go, you resign. Like, I think you want to trumpet that.
Get a bit of
It's
mayo
a
on
big
there.
win for the club.
It's a huge win for
Do you know
the
what I
club.
mean?
Trumpet it out.
You got to trumpet that shit for sure.
Yeah.
But as we've talked about on the podcast before, you got Ponga there, then you can attract others because hot attracts hot. Simple as that.
When in doubt, go hot as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we know all these things. We know all these adages. He's also fucking marketable as fuck, as Cameron Smith pointed out, I believe. So,
Our friend, Cameron.
well, you know,
Rugby league maths
like
would
a
say
brother.
he's your friend.
Yeah.
Well, he's like a brother. Sort
Okay.
of. I mean, you know, his
Could
words
you
are
explain
mine.
that rugby league math, how that works?
How he's a brother to us.
Yeah.
Well, because he sees us as he sees his role in our relationship as he's the big brother.
Yeah.
And he's like helping us. He's guiding us through the rugby league world.
Okay.
Big brother.
But you haven't met yet, though.
Well,
He sees a lot of us in him, except he acknowledges that we're New South Wales through and through, and so that can be a bit jarring around Origin time. But
Yeah.
otherwise, you know,
it's all text.
It's all just through text?
Or like WhatsApp video message. Like
Oh, he
video.
WhatsApp videos
yeah,
you?
yeah.
and he leaves us audio messages and shit.
Does he? Fucking hell.
like good night and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can see that.
Yeah.
He does
But
like
that's-
golf, so he'd probably play a bit of golf with you.
Well,
Well.
so he fucking should. That's by the by.
That is by the by. Great signing for the Knights.
I tell you what I find
Congratulations
funny
to the
is
Knights.
like the way rugby league journos, or just not journos, it sounds like I just shit on it, but just like media generally. Like now that he's signed, it seems like they were all quite aggrieved with the way that it all went down. And then now that he's signed, it's like, well, now it's time to fucking play well, mate. You're like, okay. Yeah, I'm just like, all right, calm down. Jesus
Not like
Christ.
you weren't expecting that before he signed, like you're already
now
saying
it's
it.
just time for him to shut the fuck up and knuckle down and play some rugby league, you soft prick.
You better shut the fuck up and play
shut
footy.
The fuck up, kid. Play footy. And tell your dad to piss off as well. And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. All right, let's relax here. What the hell's it?
Whoa,
Hey, oh.
It did get it like, what was bizarre is like it was adversarial or
Adversarial.
Adversarial, apologies. But like it was only coming from one side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. They
Ponga
weren't
and that-
fighting with the media.
Yeah, they didn't like put any quotes out saying like, you know, fuck this or fuck that. It was really just speculation being
Except
drummed
one.
up.
Except one. Papa Ponga, or Dr. Dre, as we call him,
Yeah.
did absolutely alpha Bulldog Richie by intentionally mispronouncing his name as Dennis Bullfrog
Yeah.
Richie.
That was after the fact, though.
No, I
wasn't it?
know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that was fantastic. That was theatre.
Oh, that's theatre.
That was theatre.
That's pizzazz that you want.
That was great. At the presser, Dennis Bullfrog Richie. I'm like,
Love it. It's like getting shamed.
Yeah.
Intentionally
Yeah, yeah.
mispronouncing someone's name.
Yeah.
phenomenal stuff.
It's
Yeah.
good stuff. What do you think the future of Ponga is? Do you reckon he stays at fullback or do you reckon he goes to 6?
Man, people have been talking about this 6 role for a substantial amount of time. They've already tried it.
I know it didn't work.
It didn't work, but also like he hasn't even really mastered the fullback role yet.
Yeah.
For example, I feel like Darren Lockyer became the best in the world at fullback, mastered it,
Golden boot.
essentially the GOAT, arguably the GOAT at fullback. I believe that if he's not better than Slater at fullback, I don't believe Slater was better than him. They'd be on even footing for me. But then Lockyer masters that and then moved into 6. Whereas like I feel like Kalen he's just been so unfortunate with injury that he hasn't had the opportunity to really show what he can do for a full season of fullback.
Consistently. He
Yeah.
hasn't kind of consistently ripped anywhere, so why would he consistently
First
rip
year
at
he did.
5'8"?
First
Yes,
year he did,
yeah. I'm not talking about his form
yeah,
like
okay.
in a negative
Every
sense.
year.
He's a fucking great player.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had the opportunities you're saying through injuries and whatever else
Yeah.
to consistently rip in a position. But he's proved that he can rip at
Yeah.
every level of the game.
Yeah.
But so like why wouldn't you just persevere with him at fullback?
Yeah, and the thing is like if you put him at 6, then you got to go buy one anyway.
Yeah.
Like you got to do it anyway.
A weakness,
So-
a strength and a weakness.
So I don't understand that. And you know he can be good at fullback, whereas you don't know whether he can be good at 6. On top of all that is part of the reason I think Lockyer did move to 6 was he was getting a little bit older, so you lose that speed and that agility.
Why can't the Knights score points? Rugby league points.
What's weird is they were scoring a bunch of points at the start of the year. I just think it's because they've had such a chopping and changing of Ponga was in, he was out. Then, he's been in for only 2 weeks now, or 3 weeks. One of them he was injured pretty much, like when he came back in. So it's just a matter of building those combinations. But yeah, moving Ponga to 6, in my opinion, it's almost like you're in a relationship, it's not working, and let's have a kid. You know what I mean? You're just throwing something in there to keep it all together.
Keep the fire going.
Instead of focusing on what the issue is, and it's building combinations with Ponga at fullback. So yeah, I don't agree with the move to 6 thing. And also, it just increases his chance to get his body damaged by having to do 30 tackles a game.
Yeah.
It's you don't want that with your star.
Also, it's not like there's another fullback there.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. So, yeah, I don't agree with the move to halve position because it's already kind of been done and he needs to master fullback first, which I think he can do. Just needs to get lucky with his injuries. I tell you what, though, the pressure now on him, though, is massive. If the pressure was there before, it's there now. But interesting times. But anyway, so Ponga, signs, great stuff. Stoked for Ponga, stoked for Newcastle.
Fucking oath.
And also, I kind of really like to hear how Ponga said Wayne's not in these 4 walls. He doesn't know what goes on behind the closed doors at Newcastle Knights. In kind of response to Wayne saying to him, do you really feel you could become the best player you can be at the Knights?
Yeah.
And I love that from Ponga because it shows that pissed him off. So it shows that he cares about the
And
Knights.
that's also what I found funny was that they were all pissed off that he didn't like what Wayne said.
Yeah.
He basically have to suck Wayne off if he says anything.
Remember, this is the same people that said it was disrespectful to Wayne, for Wayne to have a meeting with Ponga a few weeks ago. Now all of a sudden,
It was disrespectful of Ponga not to be
it's-
telling Wayne.
It's ridiculous.
It's just each week it changes of who's disrespecting who and all this kind of stuff.
I fucking love it.
And on top of all that, it's from Ponga's perspective, there's no evidence to suggest that he'll be the best player he can be at Redcliffe either. He's basically taking, as you said, Matty, he's only taking, at the very best, he's taking a sideward step, but more than likely, he's actually taking a step back in his career to maybe go forward because Dolphins, you don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, so great stuff for Ponga. I'm stoked for him. And I actually, my personal opinion, I think Ponga handled this fantastically.
I don't think. How could he have done it better?
Exactly. That's what
you
I mean.
know what I mean?
Didn't have
it
a blow
wasn't.
up.
No,
Yeah.
wasn't outrageous. Didn't draw on and on and on and on.
No, he was still, and he was well within his rights to go and meet with people, and he didn't really say shit. He was getting hit absolutely.
I didn't really hear
pounded
him
in
say
every
anything.
post-game press conference.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, I'm just not fucking talking about it.
He was getting pounded into the dirt. Never blew up. Never disrespected anyone. I actually think he handled it with class. And people that say it hurt his brand, I think that the people that think that are people that actually manufactured the controversy. If they weren't creating that tension, it wouldn't have existed. Ponga's been fantastic in it, so I wish him the best luck. I hope he turned. Could you imagine in 3 or 4 years if he lifts a fucking trophy?
Oh,
The journey.
Jesus.
I hope they're documenting it.
That'd be good.
You know what I mean? And they don't have to release it, but document from this point onwards and then see what happens. I was watching When Eagles Dare, and it's a documentary about Crystal Palace. And so it's a soccer team in the reserve, not the reserve, sorry, in second division.
Don't tell him how it ends.
The
championship.
Oh, I got to tell you, bro, you actually anti-spoiled me. You anti-spoiled me. So you told me they went up.
Yeah.
So I'm watching, I'm going, fuck, this is fucked. I know what's happening and what's happening. They end up going up in that year.
And
then the next season they go up and I'm like, this is the best. This is the best. So you made it better for me.
Well, mate, that's why I'm here, bro.
Because I'm sitting there going, they're getting beaten 2-0 in the game.
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm going, fuck. This must be a hectic finish. This must be a hectic, they score fucking 4 goals in 10 minutes. And then they don't make it. And I was like, holy shit. so I almost got a great twist. It was like a Sixth Sense twist for me. I was like, fuck me dead. It wasn't until the next season they go up.
Yeah.
So it's great. You added to the experience.
Oh,
so
mate.
I just want to say thank you for that.
No, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome, mate.
That was fantastic. So when Eagles Dare, so basically they're a second division, which is called the Championship or the first division, so just under Premier League. They did a doco, or they filmed, so they were getting kicked out of the comp. They were within hours of being liquidated as an entire organisation. The bank owned it. That's how bad it was. they were going to get liquidated, and all their fans turned up to the bank and literally were like, "We're not leaving until you sell it to these just fans." Like they sold it just to a bunch of punters or whatever. Anyway, they filmed the whole fucking thing, didn't release it until last year. So they had the footage there, and didn't release it last year. And the reason why I'm saying that is like for the Ponga situation, like they can film it, and then if they do win a premiership, could you imagine if they fucking released it?
Yeah, well, it's like Conor McGregor as well. When you're like, he released that Notorious film, and
So
you're like,
hectic.
oh, he's been filming every single thing he's done before when he was no one.
Yeah.
When he was just
So
literally still
important.
living in like a 1-bedroom apartment. And shit with his
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a great point. It's like with the Jordan thing, that documentary,
100%.
where they just filmed it and didn't release it for what, 20 years?
Have you been filming yourself?
Look, I haven't been filming myself, but it'd be pretty boring if I'm being honest.
Why?
Pretty boring.
Just
What do
sit
you
on the
mean?
couch going,
Just thinking about stuff all the time.
it's just you on your phone.
With like dramatic music and like close-ups of my face. It's like,
No, dragging like the bloke thing onto an image, editing photos.
Oh, that'd be must
posting
watch.
something is like, likes. So yeah, like I think that like clubs and I know we've spoken about this at length, Thomas and also Eduardo, but I think like going forward, the more I've watched these documentaries, the more I'm like, it's just the future. It's inevitable. Like the only way forward as a game. Obviously you have to respect the players' rights, but even like New South Wales. So Matty was at the New South Wales camp. He essentially filmed everything in the New South Wales camp, and Freddie basically said like Matty's here, he's going to film everything except for some training runs. But they obviously never released it.
Yeah.
But I feel like going forward, clubs just basically need to do that. Like just film everything.
The more that players get filmed, the more comfortable they'll be with the cameras being there. Like in the States and shit, there's fucking cameras in their faces all the time. They
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
No.
Just is what
and
it
it
is.
should just be. It just becomes part of your job. Is that you're a footballer and you get filmed and shit, and then when you're not at footy or you're not at the club, it's like that's when your downtime is.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you're at home and you're doing your shit.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're at work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
getting filmed.
Yeah, getting filmed. I think like obviously you would give the players maybe rights where they could have a say on certain things that they can veto or
100%,
whatever.
yeah.
But I think just like going forward after consuming that content and seeing how important it is to, what's crazy, it's the first time since I stopped playing soccer when I was 17 to now that I was like, fuck, maybe I should have kept playing soccer. Like I started missing soccer. And like, because my brother went to England, he got a contract with a championship side, I think I'm Nottingham Forest at the time.
Did he really?
Yeah, but he came back because he was homesick. And so like at the time I was 16, turning 17 in the A-League like squad for the Raw, we used to be called the Lions. And it was the first time, and that content was the first time I was like, fuck man, maybe I should have gone to England, and because I would have played championship at the very least, or anywhere in the world. Like, the crazy thing about their reserve grade, they get paid like, some of them get paid like 6-7 million in reserve grade because it's so fucking big.
Really?
Mate,
Yeah.
the championship's fucking massive, 24 sides.
Dude, that's a way to make it.
They say it's the
living,
hardest
isn't it?
comp in the world to win.
Yeah, it's
Championship.
crazy because there's like fucking 40 teams or some shit, or there's 50 games a year.
Ruthlessly competitive because they all want to get that Premier League cash.
Yeah.
As soon as you go
120
up, you
million.
get- yeah, there you go.
120 million.
Fucking a lot of money.
Wow.
Pounds.
Yeah, crazy. And so, but the reason I bring it up is like, it's literally the first time where I've gone, fuck, maybe I should have played
What position
soccer.
did you play?
I was a right attacking wing. I probably would have ended up as a right defensive wing that can attack, probably right or left, but most likely right. I probably would have ended up probably a right back that can float forward. But I played pretty much everywhere, like striker, main guy at the front, centre midfield for a period, even goalkeeper just to help out like the grade up.
You played goalkeeper.
Yeah. So it was such a big deal to me. No one else gives a fuck. But this was the Brisbane Raw the year before they were going into the A-League.
Yeah.
So I'm 16 at the time, and their reserve grade team, so not their first grade team. So it was like the under-19s, reserve grade, and then the first grade side. Their reserve grade side, like I was slowly getting like put into that squad, like on the bench or whatever. This is when I'm 16, and eventually like they had like 2 or 3 keepers like go down with injury, like fucking on the day or something. And they're like, Dana, we need you to like, who's keen to go goalie? And like I've got like grown men next to me or whatever. And I was like, fuck it, I'm keen. Went in goalie, and I went so well they kept me in there for like fucking 5 weeks or some shit.
Oh, really?
Are you serious?
Yeah. It was
Shit.
crazy. And then like obviously I left and started playing footy.
But would you want to be a goalie? Like, obviously, like if it meant the difference between making it and not,
Yeah.
or would you have been like a frustrated fucking?
I mean, I could have done it. I could have done it. But yeah, I would have much rather be out in the field. But Yeah.
I told you I scored an own goal in a grand final. We lost 1-0.
I've heard that
That was
story.
my last game of soccer.
He's never got over it.
Bro, I was
You
there
should see
tears.
someone about that.
Yeah,
I should see
seriously.
about a lot of
'Cause
things,
that-
but that
that-
one stung.
That
one
might be the
stung.
source of your anger.
You know what the fucking hardest bit about that was like people in the team going, "Don't worry." I'm like, "Well, we lost 1-0."
I'm kinda worrying.
Did anyone say to you, "You fucking loser"? Like you just lost this.
people were pretty nice at that age, but
Imagine what they were saying in the car.
Yeah, they would have been talking shit about me at their
Yeah.
with their mum and dad.
Yeah.
But
Did you get
I
looks and
think we
shit?
might have been undefeated as well. Like it was one of those ones where it's like, "Oh, we fucked up."
Did you fluff the kick? Like, did you go to clear it and just get it all
I went
wrong
to
and like
clear
trip
it, hit
over?
it. I went to like side kick it.
Yes.
Clear it, hit my middle of my leg.
Yeah, of course.
Which is, I pride myself on hand-eye, at least as a 10-year-old. And it hit the top of my leg and just spun off my leg and got heaps of speed. Now, in fairness to me, where the fuck was our goalkeeper? I don't remember who.
Well, you
it
were the
was.
wrong footing.
Should have been there. But it just hit the ground and got real spin and torque and just fizzed in.
Fucking hell. And then, well, at what like minute of the game was this?
First half, I was crying.
And you couldn't get it back.
Did you go off? Were you hooked at half time?
No, because I was, I think, best and fairest. But
Sure you were. Not in that game, that's fucking sure.
no, I don't think I was hooked, but I wouldn't blame him if I was. Shout out to Raul, who I believe was my coach back then.
Mate, I'm telling you, for people like, obviously, footy fans listen to this podcast, the soccer culture is so much different to rugby league. I can't express it enough. Like, it is a different world. Like, the players are so much, I guess, just not as aggressive. They're just like very... I mean, you see it when they're diving all the time and, you know, falling over, rolling around and that. Just a totally different culture. When I first came to rugby league, I couldn't believe. I remember this one dude, so we're all like sitting around in a circle. This is like probably my second training session, maybe third. It's all the young fellas. And like one dude, he had like would have been like a non-serious girlfriend, like it's whatever. Anyway, so he's sitting there, he's talking about like, fuck, went out on the weekend, like kissed these chicks and was mad. In front of everyone, I was like, but like, don't you have a girlfriend?
Did you ask that?
Yeah, in front of everyone. Like,
Yeah.
don't you have a girlfriend? Like, why are you doing that, bro? Everyone was like, what the fuck, bro? And I was like, started pushing my head. You fucking loser. What the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, holy shit. What's going on here?
Oh my god! Kept your mouth shut after that, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't say shit after that. That's for sure. Jesus. Yeah.
Jen and Cam.
Just like,
Pussy,
yeah, you're such a pussy. How could you care about what the other person thought?
Yeah. Shame on you for having a heart.
Well, you showed weakness. That's why.
Yeah.
It's weakness, and
It's
also
just
like
classic
they're
weakness.
like with teenagers, like it's a non-serious relationship. Like,
Hey, it was serious at the time, bro. It meant something to me.
meant something to you.
Yeah.
But this one I don't think was that serious. They weren't in a serious relationship. That's for
Oh,
sure.
okay,
Okay.
then that's fine.
Well, I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got pizzled for that for quite a while, and the guys were like, "What
Yeah,
the
that's a
hell?"
surprise. Do you ever watch the A League?
Not so, no disrespect, but it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. But look, yeah,
It's not super palatable.
yeah. Well, it's the tough thing about A League. The reason why rugby league and AFL is so big in Australia, part of the reason, is you can't watch it anywhere else. There's no better league to watch. Whereas if you're trying to watch soccer in Australia, it's like, why would I do that when I can turn on the Premier League and watch absolutely fucking throbbers play like 3 divisions higher than what I'm watching in A League? So it's like
I don't watch New South Wales Cup, rugby league.
yeah, it's
or
like
the
watching
Super League.
NBL.
Yeah.
You know, why would I watch the NBL when I can watch the NBA? Now, I understand tribalism, they're your local team, you
Shout
should
out to
support
Sydney
them,
Kings.
all that kind of stuff.
Violet
But the
Crumbles.
reason what makes it so tough for those sports to succeed in Australia is because they're competing against much bigger. It's the reason why when I started my podcast, I didn't just do a podcast doing interviews with people, because I was like, then I have to compete against every podcast in the world that does just stories with people. Where if I do rugby league, not only do I know some of the players, but no one else is doing it. So that's my point of difference. And it's like rugby league in Australia. You're not going to watch rugby league anywhere else because that's better. AFL, the same thing. Anyway, I don't even know how we got to
No,
that.
mate, it was a great.
Well,
point.
we were talking about Cameron Munster.
Yeah, and that's
Sorry,
why.
Cameron Munster, yeah.
And we
then-
brought it back to ourselves.
Well,
Or
yeah,
to me,
you went on about your career, and
Yeah,
you know.
sorry.
Yeah, well, you talked about yourself for 10
Apologies,
minutes.
apologies, people. Apologies. So,
I think I also mentioned my soccer career. yeah, I think I did turn it into
so
my
Cam
story.
Munster. That's another thing. I'd like to see him. Like, let's say he goes to the Dolphins. Film that shit.
Fucking
yeah,
oath.
yeah,
Film
yeah,
that
yeah,
motherfucking shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine if we could have watched the Storm get created, or the Broncos get created, or when Manly emerged as a club. Imagine we could watch that.
Manly's 2008 Premiership dominance, 40-0, was it?
Yeah. Imagine filming that.
Yeah,
Well,
that'd
they
be
sort of
crazy.
did,
Into
but not enough.
2011.
Just film everything.
Yeah.
Just film
Film it all and
film
stop
everything,
whinging.
and then cut up shit that
we want to see.
I want.
Yeah, and like
Put
if you're
GoPros
worried
on
about
everyone's
getting
head.
filmed, have a room that's like a safe space where you know you can go and get away from the cameras, but there's nothing in there that you want. So if you want to go get a coffee, you're gonna have to leave the room. If you want to take a shit, you got to leave the room. So it's literally just like an airport smoking area where you just go in there.
Just a box with no seats in it.
Yeah.
You can go in there if you want.
It's not very
padded
comfortable.
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
you
not
can
very comfortable
wrestle
in
and
there.
do that weird shit.
No
in there,
cameras in there, but if you want
It's
to,
not comfortable.
have a shower.
But there is a hidden camera in there because we know that.
Well, there's
weird
going to be a
stuff
hidden
gonna
camera in there, obviously.
Because we
But
want to
there's
capture
no
the weird
camera
stuff.
in there, technically.
100%.
Stop whinging.
But yeah, so Munster, the situation with Munster, what's really interesting with that is, he keeps playing better. It almost becomes not laughable because you can't understand where the Storm are coming from. Like they're trying to fit everyone under the salary cap. This is what the salary cap does, but it almost becomes an impossible situation. Like how could he possibly take a pay cut with how well he's playing right now?
Well, they've got themselves in this situation because of their history, right?
also their
I don't think
ability
they
to
want to
recruit
flirt. They
throbbers.
don't want to fly too close to the sun. They've already got Pat re-signed, Grant re-signed, Hughes re-signed. So that's clearly why they're offering him unders because you can't watch the footy he's playing and going, sorry, bruh, not as good as you were. Because it's just not the case.
No.
Probably in the best year of his career.
He's taking the fucking piss out of the competition.
Yeah, it's
it's
insane.
outrageous.
But yeah, it brings me to my next topic, which may hurt, but there is whispers, and I know we spoke about this when it first happened, but Schuster, manager, has reached out to the club and basically said, like, we were promised that he would be playing 6.
Yep.
What's the go?
Well,
firstly,
he will play 6.
yeah.
In good time.
But there is a good young throbber coming through. Fainu.
Yeah.
Is it Fainu?
Yeah, it's Latu Fainu,
the
I
younger
think.
brother.
Yeah.
And then you've got Weeks as well. So I guess the manager's concern might be Fainu just got signed on a big deal. If Foz goes around for another year, maybe even 2 years, by the time Foz retires, does the kid be ready? And then all of a sudden Schuster's stuck on the edge.
Well, we're going to need a 7 as well. So we've got 2 aging halves, handsome and, elite as they are.
But aging.
I don't think Foran gets enough raps for him being a good sort.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
No, he's really fuckable.
He is hot as shit.
Dude,
And
I don't think
he's strong. He's
Big
like
arms.
husky, sort of Australian,
Yep.
Kiwi accent.
he used to get more kudos back in the day, like
Because he
fresh
was
off.
a young twink.
Yeah, he was young twink, fresh off a fucking premiership win. You
Yeah.
know, like when he went to the
Smooth.
Eels and shit, which was a mistake. He's admitted.
So is the Dogs, so is the Warriors.
He's admitted all that. But like, I think now that he's sort of out of the public eye a little bit more than he was back in the day, people forget about him. He's
Yeah.
slept on. His
Yeah.
hotness is slept on. But he's aging like a fine wine. I
Yeah,
think.
Yeah.
But to Tom's point, Cherry Evans getting older, Foran getting older. 2 half spots there, bro.
But what he would have to wait till Foran, Cherian's just re-signed 2025.
Just around the corner.
Bro,
Schuster's what, 20 years old?
Yep.
is he 20?
Like,
He's 20.
What
Yeah,
are we
listen.
getting our knickers in a knot for?
You're playing
Win a comp
top
on the
5
edge.
rugby league.
Win a comp on the edge. Put your hand up for Origin.
He's basically a 5'8"
And
on
then
the
move
edge
to
anyway.
the 6.
But
Like,
from
what's
his
the difference?
Also, do we trust it? I don't trust
I
the
don't
media.
trust
I think it's just them just trying to
no, I think this
trying to
seemed
rattle
pretty,
cages.
No, I
It's
think
all
it seems
bullshit.
pretty clear the manager's gone to Danny Wilder and said, mate, we're going to need you to say this to put pressure on the
Danny
club.
Wilder have blocked
That's
us
what
on Twitter, fame.
Seems, allegedly, reportedly. I don't know for sure.
Listen, we have regular catch-ups with Josh. And
But you got to remember, when we first spoke about this, like jokingly, but I did bring up that it's an issue that he wants to play 6 and they've just signed Foran. And I don't think anyone thought Foran would go around for
if
this
you're
long.
if you're a player, which you were, do you care? Like, well, not do you care? Obviously, they might have preference, but is the main goal wanting to be in the good side and win games of footy? Like, if you're, because he's fucking ripping and tearing on.
Or does he want
Yeah.
that half money?
Well, that's the thing. And also, you don't want
That's what
to...
it is.
It's the
well,
biggies.
it's a mixture of 2 things.
It's the
That's a very different... I was a winger, but I had way more enjoyed fullback. And so I actively was like, man, I wish I was playing fullback. So it is a thing.
Yeah.
And 6 compared to wide running forward, that's massive, massive difference. So a lot of it would be, that's what he loves to do. He loves to be the 6 and he wants to get his hands on the ball more. But also part of it is if you're just, let's say you're just focusing on him and his manager and what's best for him and his manager, if you're trying to set him up for a career where he earns as much money as he can, you've got to get him into that 6 jersey as soon as possible. Because if he keeps killing it at 12, he'll just get left. People are like, nah, you're a 12, bro. We're not even fucking not moving you. And he's kind of already done that a little bit because he's played so fucking well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, realistically, though, him putting pressure on the club via a journo, via his manager.
I think it'd be more his manager doing this. I don't think
Sure. Like, are they really... Is the club going to turn around and say, well, righto, mate, here's a 6 jersey? When he's such a threat on the edge now, and we've got a 6 and we've got a 7?
But also, can't you raise those issues with the club internally? It's like, hey,
Well,
like,
he probably has, though. He
Right,
probably has,
so
and the
then
club's just gone like...
fuck off.
Well, for the reasons just stated. Like,
No, I get you,
there's
but I
a
just
spot
mean-
for you on the edge, bruh.
Yeah.
And you're good at it.
Yeah.
And Foran's going pretty fucking well.
Another thing could be, and I've got no evidence, I'm only projecting what happened to me, they could have signed him for less money, saying, we promise, if you sign for less, we promise that you will get that 6 role. So he might be like, fucking hell, like I'm on less money.
That'd piss me off if I was him.
And the reason why I did it, because I wanted to play 6, because then the big contract would be there for me after. Now, I don't know, but that could also be a possibility. And also, like, when you're talking about Schuster, just him selfishly, like, he signed a contract, it seems, under those conditions, and they haven't been met. Like, he has a right to be a bit like...
Is there a point where maybe you go... Like, you give him the opportunity to prove himself, right? Like, prove that you deserve it over Foran.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I said yesterday on the show as well, like, my advice to Schuster would be, mate, it's a great club. Unless you're getting a good offer from, like, the Storm or one of the glamour clubs, stay there, bide your time, and earn the spot. Back yourself. Back that you'll be the guy that's going to get that role. Because in reality, Foz has got max 2 years left in him.
Including this year?
Next year and then the year after, I'd say. But it was crazy. I didn't think he'd get this far. And he's playing, not career best form, but he's playing
good
the
form.
best since he left Manly, in my opinion.
Shock
Yes.
horror.
He's playing fantastic.
His
body's holding up.
Yeah,
as well.
so you don't know. He could play another 3 or 4 years because he's actually only 30 years old, Foz.
No, 30... He's not 30, is he?
No, he's 31. He'd be 31, 32 this year.
Can you check
Maybe
that,
32
boys?
this year.
I think he's 32. If he was 30, that'd
Pretty
be
sure he's-
ridiculous. I
pretty
think
sure
he's
he's-
32.
I thought he was like 30.
Pretty sure he's a year above me.
Year below, and
31.
Year below, mate.
31.
31.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe he
32 in
does.
July.
32. So he's,
32, yeah.
Okay,
So technically, he could play 3 more years. 35.
3 or 4 more years.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's where Schuster's manager just wants clarity of, like, what is the direction of his career? Like, is he going to be stuck in that role for 4 or 5 years?
Do you think maybe he's more angling towards... Because I'm pretty sure Foran's only signed for this season.
Yeah, he's off
Currently,
contract.
yeah.
So is that more a conversation around, are you going to re-sign Foran?
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
That's probably more what it is.
And getting clarity of, like...
Yeah.
What's this going to look like for us?
Are you re-signing him?
Yeah.
Because if you are,
How
we
would
won't
that work
fucking
from
know.
a team environment where it's in the news now, Foran's a teammate, probably a friend,
Yeah.
and you're like, you've got these, like, it's like a functional rivalry where it's like, we are friends,
Yeah.
but obviously I want what you have, and, you know, like...
It's just part of the gig. The thing is even from a 6-year-old, you get used to that kind of stuff of mates that you would do anything for that take your position at a drop of a hat. So you kind of just get, not desensitized, but you acclimatise to the environment where you've got dudes that are your best mates. Like, look at Cheese and Harry Grant. Like, Cheese and Harry Grant are best mates, and Harry Grant has basically taken the Dally M Hookers 9 role from him.
Yeah.
And they've said to him, like, you're not going to be the 9, even though he just became the Dally M hooker.
Would that specifically, sorry to take you off, but would that have to do with him fucking leaving, though? That's why
I
he's giving Grant the 9?
No, I think Storm made it pretty clear that Grant is the long-term 9.
Certainly there, but I just mean he's obviously the long-term 9. They signed him, and Harry and Cheese is leaving. But the reason he's the starting 9 now is that because they're like, well, fuck, why would we?
Yeah,
we may
look,
as well have him.
By all the
coming.
reports that I've read and all the, I guess my own assumption is Storm made it pretty clear from the jump that once Harry Grant came into the league and was playing as well as he did, that he would be the long-term 9.
Yeah,
But was it...
Because they got rid of Finucane.
Wasn't Grant injured,
Cheese.
and that's why Cheese was starting hooker anyway?
Yeah.
And then when he
Last season,
came back, they just kept it because it was going so well.
Yeah, because he was playing so well. And this
So
year...
it was like more of an injury decision to start off
Yeah.
with.
And also, like, because Cheese can play lock, like, you look at Dale Finucane, like, I honestly feel, and I could be wrong, but I feel that the reason why they couldn't afford to re-sign Finucane was because they were trying to get enough money together to keep Cheese, and that would suggest to me that they see him more as a forward. Why, like, you wouldn't be moving on a forward to keep a hooker because then your salary cap gets out of balance. But yeah, it's an interesting topic. But I think Schuster should absolutely just head down, unless he's signed for way less and they have not come through with their end of the bargain. But if he's on a decent wicket, put your head down, work hard. You're super talented. Like when he does get that 6 role, fuck me, he's going to be good.
What would you be doing if you're the club and Schuster's going, listen, if you re-sign Foran again for another 2 years, 2 years, then you're putting me in a position where I'm going to fuck off.
Oh, man.
Please don't do that.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here, where
100%.
I'm just like, if I'm reading the tea leaves, Tom, and I like to think I am.
Well, you're a tea reader of note, tea leaf reader of note.
I'm getting that sort of feeling.
Yeah,
that
look,
they're putting a little bit of pressure on, and it might end up ramping up as if like, if you fucking sign him and I don't get that 6 jersey, then we're gonna have problems.
Honestly, I think if it's easy for me to say because I'm not the one that could lose their job or whatever, but if I think from the outside looking in, as a principled way, you'd go, we're not going to be held hostage.
As a
by
club.
player.
Yeah.
In saying that, if that is the case, you shouldn't have promised it to him then. You know, like I would understand if you never promised to him and he's just come to you and said, I'm the best 6 at the club, I should be it. Then you could be like, nah, mate, no way. But you have put that thought in his head, like you promised it to him, and so therefore he has every right to be like, I'm just asking for what you guys said was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I just think as a club, you probably just have to be like, look, we're the ones that make the tough calls. Schuster, we absolutely love you. We want you here. Maybe you give him a little contract bump to help him out a little bit, increase his pay, and just make it clear, mate, you're going to have the best opportunity of anyone to get that 6 role when Foran does decide to retire. Or even while Foran's playing. If Foran's not playing well, we'll put you in there. But at the moment, the problem is
he's not better than him at the moment. Like that, in terms of like what Foran brings to the side as
Not
a
at 6,
5'8", and what Schuster brings, Foran is the better option. At the moment.
Absolutely, I agree. And I think Schuster, mate, that contract's going to come, bro.
Yeah.
He is so talented. He's got so long to get the big contracts.
He's 20 years old.
20 years old.
And blind, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
20 and blind. I mean, really.
What if he gets his eyesight fixed? He'll be fucking...
Tell you
Wow.
what, if...
I think it'd be worse if he did.
Yeah, I don't think...
Because he's just playing off vibe right now, and that's why I like him playing. I think it's the way he likes to play.
If Adokar has Let's Trot, I wouldn't mind Schuster coming out with his own like clothing brand called 20 and Blind.
20 blind. It's like 2020, but
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, but not.
But 20
Without
blind.
the 20.
20/blind.
So
20
yeah,
blind,
interesting
like
time.
it.
What's crazy is like, it feels like it was only 12 months ago there was like no halves in the comp. You know, there's just no halves going around. Now all of a sudden there's like a bit of movement. Like even Moses, Mitchell Moses, he's got a player option that he hasn't executed. And so technically if he doesn't execute or chooses not to execute the option, he could have technically signed with another club November 1st this year.
For
next
2024.
So he's got a contract for 2023.
Yep.
But he has an option in his favour for 2024.
Right.
So if he went to a club now and said, I'm not taking 2024, kind of like what Jerome Hughes did a little bit, but his was longer. Then if he said, I'm not taking that option, then technically November 1st, he could sign for a club for 2024.
Yeah, right.
Kind of like what the situation Munster's in a little bit.
Yeah.
So there is a couple of little options running
100%.
around for Wayne
And
and
you've
the
got Dylan
boys.
Brown as well. Dylan Brown also, I'm pretty sure he is only contract. So November 1st this year, he could sign with someone else. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Surely the Dolphins are talking to Reece Walsh,
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
given he's got that clause.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. Going to be interesting to see what Reece does as well, because like,
He'll go.
You
Man,
know,
you just got pumped 70-10 as if you're fucking hanging around for that shit,
oh
respectfully.
man, fuck. I felt so sorry for the Warriors. It was just one of those games where like nothing was going right.
But it was
And they
going.
played-
But it was
yeah,
going all right.
going great.
It was going pretty well, and then it
gave up.
wasn't.
Yeah. So interesting times. Now, Jack Birdroom, the Sydney Morning Herald is reporting that the Tigers are holding a recruitment this week with Jack Bird's name on the agenda. Apparently he wants a 3-year deal, but Dragons will only offer 2. What do you think about the great Jack Bird?
He'd be a good signing for the Tigers. Jack Bird's a good player.
He rips and tears.
Yeah, he does.
That's
He's a
one thing he
footballer,
does.
that kid.
He's a real footballer. Real footballer.
Out and out footballer.
He's an
some
out
say.
and out. Well, he's got a lot of out and out footballer
Yeah.
in him.
Yeah.
Do you prefer him as a centre?
Or a back row.
Man, I thought he was a 13, but then he played there, and I was like, oh, in today's game where centres are getting more balls, probably a centre, you know. But the good thing about him is everywhere he plays, he does affect the game in a positive way. Like
He does a job.
He
He's a
does a
handful.
job. He's a handful. Sometimes when he's playing his best, he's a mouthful.
Yeah, well, it can be a mouthful. That's
2016 Sharks Grand Final, he was
Mouthful.
outrageous, and he fully ripped his whole fucking...
Yeah.
He's been
Elbow.
named this week with a broken arm.
Well, that's what mouthfuls do.
right. Yeah.
If he plays with a broken arm,
Well, mouthfuls can and will and have and do. So I wouldn't be fucking shocked if he did. I like him. Though. He's a good player. He'd be a good pickup for the Tigers.
You had Papali'i, Aki
Yep.
Coruscant.
Now things are coming together. Jackson Hastings playing good footy.
Adam
New
Dewey come
Testament,
back.
Luke Brooks.
I mean the
fuck.
second coming of LB.
Yeah.
Like
LB.
you're starting to.
Are we talking? We're now in post LB. Like there's what BB and there's
Well, there's
before
B-
Brooks and after Brooks?
Yeah.
No, it's before Hastings, after Hastings.
okay. So BH
BH.
Is that
Yes.
are we in the AH world right now? Do you think?
Well, I
It would
think we're in a
seem so.
transition period. It's
Yeah.
looking like it.
Yeah, it looks like
Certainly looking like we're into AH.
Yeah, West Tigers AH.
Because he's making a fucking big difference.
Massive
Huge difference. But like then, it can go like that. Then you start thinking, shit, are the Tigers good?
I love the Tigers now.
With Coruscant
You know what I
next
mean?
year, dude, they're going to be fucking...
But don't you reckon it's... But just even the fact they've had a couple of good wins, they got their Boyd. Obviously, Madge did get him back to earth, as we said that he must.
And he
But-
did.
He got him
I
way
heard,
back
I
there.
heard the sack wax came in.
Yeah, they
I
had to
heard he
use the
started
sack
whacking
wax.
sacks.
COB was coming up.
Fucking, well, he looked at his watch. He said, it's fucking 4:45.
It's sack whack o'clock.
Bang, let's work through these boys. Get them back down. That's what I heard.
But now I want to watch every Tigers game.
I tell you what's funny. All Madge needed to do was cry a couple of times. And I'm like, yep, I'm into ya. Come here, Tigers.
Yeah.
Let me give you a hug.
Emotion does work.
But if you win too many games, know this, I will hate you again. So just be careful. Don't...
There's a very delicate balance you need to
Well,
do.
I mean, look at the Penny Panthers. They're so disliked now
Yeah.
on the internet, like arrogant, this, that, next thing. Like, I was watching the game on the weekend with Panthers Raiders, and people complaining about like the Panthers being arrogant and disregard the fans doing the Viking clap,
which I love.
Which was hilarious.
which was absolutely hilarious. Great yarn as well as Larn.
Yeah.
We were saying that every time the Raiders get humped, the opposition crowd should do the Viking clap.
Yeah.
It's
Look,
got to become a thing now.
You can't do the Viking clap and not expect to get clapped back
When you're losing.
when you're losing. That's just
And
part of rugby
but you
league.
also stole it
From the
overseas,
Iceland soccer
right?
team, yeah.
So like you've already borrowed it.
Yeah.
Like you're just opening yourself up for people to take the piss.
Yeah.
I think it's good fun.
Oh, it's great fun. Adds to the yarn. It's what rugby league's all about.
That's what it's all
and then they
about.
asked Rick Noble about it in his presser, and you could tell it was boiling his piss because obviously he wasn't stoked about it, but he pretended
He
like
said-
he wasn't.
it's like, fuck me dead.
Fuck me dead. Is this really what we're talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Is this a big deal? We're like,
Trying
well,
to
seems
deflect.
like it is Rick Noble.
it seems like your eyes twitching,
Yeah.
so that's why we're talking about it.
Also, it kind of is a big deal because it was a planned Viking clap because someone was banging a drum.
Oh, did they have a drum?
Yeah. So
dude?
it must have been planned because like to
Genius.
start a clap with a drum,
Well,
that everyone can hear.
But someone brought the drum.
Yeah.
Well, so does the NRL need to issue each club's fan base with a drum?
Yeah, I think so.
Non-Raiders fan base.
I think so.
Well, I think there should be a chief drummer
Yeah.
at every club.
Yeah.
You put in your CV, you show, like you could be a drummer at Manly.
I could be a drummer at Manly. I'd
'Cause you're a
prefer-
drummer.
I am a drummer of note. Have pounded the skins in my time, but I don't know that I'd want to be.
Mate, I want you to go to Brookvale with a drum when we play the Raiders. That would be fucking hilarious, bro.
No
You
shirt.
are a drummer.
Yeah, I can see that.
Look,
no
I
shirt.
appreciate it. No, probably not,
Why not?
because I don't want to. That's the honest.
You're an honest answer. You're an honest man.
I just couldn't be
Pathetic.
fucked.
I think
I want someone else to do it.
if I'm Raiders now, when the Panthers come and play the Raiders in Canberra, every time they make an error, I would do the like over the thingo and just
Yeah.
get back at them. Like, let's go
But
tit for tat.
but you know what? Like you're kind of poking the bear. You're not good, so like you can't really do
You
it.
can't
if you're
lay
losing.
down though and get
Yeah,
fucking-
but you got to poke.
You got to poke.
You got to poke back.
can't-
Otherwise, you're just getting poked.
Yes,
Getting
I
fisted
get
like
that.
you guys did
but
on the
what I
weekend.
mean is, do you need to be careful about how? Like, there's nothing worse than when you shit talking.
No, but you pick the moment. You know what I mean?
It's important.
No,
to pick the
I
moment.
think there's nothing more respectful
Or do you
than
reckon you do it going down?
Oh.
Like you
Yeah.
go down swinging.
Yeah, there's nothing more respectful than a
Fucking ground
man
and
that's
pounded.
getting humped and he goes down swinging.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
want to just get like, be like, oh
Pound it
yeah, you're
out
the
and you
best,
just-
you're the best, you're the best.
Yeah.
No,
You don't want to
I
just bend
hear.
over.
I hear.
You gotta,
I do hear.
you gotta, thrust
Yeah.
back if you would.
You got to thrust back.
You gotta
Yeah.
push
The only
back
way
into
to
it,
the only way to
Yeah,
counter a
power
hump is
bottom.
to hump yourself.
or thrust into it,
hump back.
and say,
Yeah,
look,
well,
I like
hump
it.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
I like
Give it
the, I like the banter.
Yeah.
They negate each other. You know what I mean? It's a hump minus a hump equals no hump.
Well, hump times a hump means no hump.
If you're humping,
Well, you're not getting humped because you're humping them.
that's right.
That's what I'm saying, is it a
so
hump?
you're taking the humping away
But
from
is
the
it
hump.
a plus hump plus
You're-
hump equals no hump, or is it a hump? Because hump minus hump is obviously no hump.
You're taking
the
the
point.
narrative back. You're taking control back of the humping.
Right. So you're like, I want to lose.
I'm
You're
humping.
humping the hump out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the
Who's
idea.
humping? Who's humping if you're both humping?
Exactly.
That's right.
And before you know it, it's 40-0 and you lost, but you don't know who humped who.
It's a great point.
So if you're both moving,
You
it
listening to
appears
this,
no one's
Raiders?
moving.
Ricky, you listening?
That's how you do it.
But back to my point,
What was your point, Dennett?
I didn't see anything that they did that was really arrogant.
Well, they were celebrating. So that's the problem.
I don't get it.
No, it's celebrating.
I didn't get it. I didn't know they were doing anything bad.
Me, I don't get like the Panthers arrogant thing. Like, yeah, they celebrate a lot, but it's like,
Who the fuck doesn't celebrate when their teams win?
yeah, like they celebrate
Or
heaps. They're
scoring
stoked.
tries.
They're scoring
They should
meaties.
go back to the handshake. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was really fucking good. But it is funny. Like, we can't help it. As a culture, Australian culture, we love it. We can't help ourselves. We love the underdog as it's coming up, but as soon as it becomes the big dog, we hate it then. It's like, no,
That's why
can't
everyone
do
hates
it.
Manly, mate.
We can't seem to turn it off.
It's just crazy. We cannot help it. We cannot help it. The Panthers were the most loved club 2 years ago when they were putting it to Melbourne. They win the comp. Now everyone's like, fuck, I hate the Panthers, man. They're like fucking
Arrogant.
so arrogant, this, that, and the next thing. It's probably why people love Manly now, because you're not that same club you used to
Well,
be.
no, we are though, aren't we? We're top 4.
Well, we've always been hated. I think what's happened in the last year or two is the Trebojevic brothers are like so universally liked that we
Loved.
loved. Like, you can't hate Tom.
You can't
hate
I'll give you
Jake.
that. I'll give you that. When's Tommy back? A few weeks?
Couple of weeks.
Mate,
Just a couple.
if he comes back and rips, fuck.
Of course he is.
hectic.
Of course that's what he'll do.
So, yeah, bird rumours. Interesting that the Dragons only went off for 2. I feel like he hasn't really been that injury prone since he's been there. I feel like he's kind of played.
Dragons seem to just be lowballing everyone.
Could you...
He was going in, wasn't he? Couple of like.
He was injured. Oh, Broncos. He was injured from the Broncos.
ACL at the Broncos?
Yeah,
He played like
ACL.
2 games for
Could you
the
get up
Broncos.
how many games he's played since he's been there in this? How many seasons? Look, if the Tigers can get him, he is the perfect signing because he rips and tears, and that's just what they need. They need rippers and tearers. Like nothing has changed in their personnel. The only difference in the last 2 weeks is they're ripping and tearing.
Yeah.
That's literally it. How many games?
He's been there for 2 years. He played 22 games last year, and he's played every game this year.
Yeah. So
What do
it's
you
like,
want from him?
Like I don't know why they wouldn't be willing to offer him a 3-year deal when
He's still young.
He's still relatively young, 27, I think.
Yeah.
And he's got so much, like, who else is on the market? Like, he's one of their best players each week.
Yes.
So I'm surprised they aren't willing to offer him a 3-year deal.
Where's Ben Hunt at, the Dragons, in terms of his contract?
2024, I think it ends. Could be wrong. I think it's 2024.
It's
so
not
he's
still
another
a
option
mill
for
a
dro-
season though, is it?
Yeah, 1.1 or some shit.
I thought that was a 5-year deal.
Ben Hunt's 2023.
2023.
I thought that was a 5-year deal though when they got him on $1 million a year.
Well, he signed in
Did they
2017.
re-up him?
No, he hasn't re-signed. I think he signed in, 2017? So that would be about, what?
When was the Broncos? I thought he signed. I
2018.
thought it was 2017. Sorry, isn't he joined him 2017?
Maybe.
Or did he join him
Maybe it was a
2016?
6-year deal.
2018.
2018
His first
he
year
joined
with the
it.
Dragons.
5 years,
Yeah.
2018.
Really?
There you
wow.
go.
I thought it was earlier too.
Yeah.
I thought it was earlier too. He's been playing fantastic. Another bloke that the Dolphins absolutely should chase.
He's fucking good.
not
He's
a bad
such
point.
a good player. Falcon, hasn't he turned the narrative around?
Big time.
Yeah. Like, fuck, he got crucified. And I don't want to hear anyone saying that he's not a good fucking player. Like now, when you watch
No,
him
but
play.
he just put his head down and just fucking worked.
Yeah.
And then everyone would sort of realise, they go, oh,
He's
fuck,
actually
you
a guy.
are actually pretty good.
Yeah, and you had like one error, and you literally think about how unfairly he's been maligned. It was 1 second, one error.
But you can't.
People
help
are
that.
moving part. It's like
You
it's
can't
getting,
help it, dude. It was one area in a grand final that essentially lost him it. Essentially,
Look,
Well,
I'll give you a
it didn't
24-month
win
grace
him.
period.
It didn't win him. It put it that way.
certainly didn't win him it. Well, they hit a drop goal like straight
What's
after.
well, no one talks about the fact that we had the game won and
Darius
like,
and the
people
winger let him in.
No, Darius didn't let him
Not
in.
Darius. Sorry.
We missed about 1 million tackles. You know what I mean? Like that was one error that is an error that isn't effort based. It's just purely Kyle Feld puts up hectic bombs.
I think it's probably the worst loss in grand final history by a club.
It was one. It was
Yeah,
all
it was
over.
one. It was one. Worst loss in the history of
what it is
NRL
telling is
grand
that
finals.
Queensland clubs give the most exciting grand final of all time. That is telling. Like 2 Queensland clubs, we go down, we actually deliver. We don't do boring grand finals like other people.
Well,
Look, it was an entertaining
great
grand
grand
final. I'll
final.
give you that. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you lost. And if
Yeah.
you're trying to sugarcoat the loss with entertaining, then I'm not buying what you're selling.
No. That ain't
Simple as
selling
that.
at markets.
Not selling at the markets. But look, Tigers, pick up Jack Bird.
Oh,
Get onto him.
Absolutely.
You get Jack Bird there, Coruscant, Papali'i. Maybe you
Seems
think
like
about
the
coming 10th.
Dragon. Yeah, well, that'd be nice. Dragons don't respect talent, it would seem. No disrespect.
Now, this next segment, I wanted to show you this because it's one of the great pictures of all time. But it's, you know.
Ooh. Whoa.
Oh, my.
That's a rugby league handful.
NRL put that up on their like.
Did they?
Yeah, NRL put that up.
Did they say rugby league handful?
Yeah, they said, look at Wighton, he's a rugby league handful.
Dude, look at that. Unflappable Jack. You've got Nathan
He's not
Cleary
concerned
there.
at all.
No, Nathan Cleary's got a full fucking mitt.
Well, he's gone for the classic reach around.
Yeah.
Give me a
Can't tackle the man,
squeeze.
tackle the
And
ball.
like all the comments, like, how do you put that up and not see where Cleary's hand is?
Well, maybe they put it up because they want to get tongues wagging.
Yeah, engagement.
Yeah, actually, that is true. Rugby league, we do love a story.
You can't look at that photo and that not be the first thing you see.
It's the only thing you see.
So they definitely put it up for engagement. 100%.
Because he's got
Forearms on Nath.
Fair forearms.
Yeah. Well, look at the pipes on fucking Whiten.
He's
And I'm not
piped
talking
up.
about his pipe that has been grabbed. That
Well,
was a
he'd
poor
well, I
choice
think,
of words.
Well,
He's piped up.
he's piped
But
up.
what's like Nathan's fully got his fingers down the other, like he has managed to grab all of it. His hands are completely down
I think
the
he
side.
might be missing a nut
You reckon he's left a
at
nut?
the bottom left there. I think.
Oh,
he might,
yeah, you're
I think
right.
He might have
His
left
fingers are split.
I think he might have left a nut behind.
One nut.
No nut left behind, I reckon.
No, but he's
Well.
certainly got he's got the
Lucky it's in a sack.
the meat of the shaft.
Well, he's got that. He's got the. I think
the
he's
meat
got
of
the
the
right
shaft
testy
and one testy.
sewn up, and I think he's got the shaft, and I think he might have left that left ball behind. But look,
we
rugby
don't
league
know what
handful.
happened after this. He might have gone for a second grab and captured them all.
what just to right his wrongs.
Well, you got to get the full thing.
yeah, that's right.
You don't want half the job.
But it is a classic rugby league handful. Like that
Oh
is
yeah,
a
no, that
rugby
is.
league handful.
It's a cut and dry rugby league handful.
Not surprised that Jack Whiten's a handful.
No surprise at all.
Good to see.
Cleary clause. Sydney Morning Herald reporting that Ivan Cleary gets sacked. Nathan Cleary has a get out clause. Thoughts on this?
I'm not surprised by
Is
that.
that shocking to anyone?
What I'm like is like we can't just like let people sign and they, you know what I mean? Like he signed.
But that's what they
And
do,
it's like,
right?
Breaking news. I don't want to be a downer. He actually said it when he said, "Look, I don't want to be a downer, but just so you know, Nathan Cleary can leave if his fathers get sacked."
Who said that?
One of the reporters or whatever.
Right.
I was like, I don't want to be a downer, and it's like now I'm about to be a downer.
Yes.
Well, it's just
yeah.
like no offense, but
No offense, but
But
You're a
breaking
loser.
news. What are your thoughts on Cleary clause? The Cleary clause.
the Cleary clause. I think that makes perfect sense. You want to try and get the fucking best halfback in the game to stay at your club. Give him every possible clause you can just to get him to stay.
And like what? Like
what clause wouldn't you give Nathan?
exactly.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? He put in as many clauses as you want, bruh.
Santa Claus, put him in there.
He'd have a Santa Claus.
He'd have a Santa,
Santa
Claus for
Claus.
sure.
Yeah.
Gets one free Santa a year.
Well, I think it'd be that they have to have a Santa at the club over like Christmas break for him to come and like sit on his lap.
What Ivan Cleary's become Santa Claus for the day.
Well, either Ivan has to become Santa Claus or they actually get Santa from the North Pole to come and spend Christmas at Penrith.
Sure.
That's a wild demand from Nathan Cleary.
The boy gets what he wants, right?
He gets the Prince of Penrith,
Yeah.
keys to the city kind of
Exactly.
stuff.
Have you seen his tat?
Yes, I've
Yeah,
seen
he's
that.
Penrith through and through. And if
West.
he wants a Santa Claus,
Penrith West.
he gets a Santa Claus.
Mate, that we watched that video the other day about them singing.
Yeah, it's the
one,
best.
One of the great
videos.
videos. Yeah, look, what's I think it's like a bit of a nothing. Like, of course he's going to put that in, but also like, does anyone think Ivan Cleary can't coach? Like, why would you move him on? Why would you ever sack him?
Yeah.
It's all just like semantics.
Yeah,
It's funny, the article actually, most of the article was just them listing coaches that have been sacked in the next 5 years after a grand final. That's what the article was padded up about.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, but listen, if Ivan's still there, and by extension Nathan, I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, I think they will be
Yeah.
just fine.
I think they'll be all right.
Honestly, I feel like Cleary could get coached by a potato and they'd be fine.
they'll be fine.
Well, he'd be the best
absolutely fine.
coaching potato in the history of the NRL. You know that.
Goes to like a potato, coaches them, and they win like 3 premierships in a row.
Imagine that, and then he gets like coach of the year and shit. It's
Yeah.
potato.
Dude, it's like potato, Wayne Bennett, Jack Gibson.
Yeah, and like you're on Wikipedia, and it's like who's coached the most Jeff wins, and it's literally a potato.
It's a potato.
with like Ivan's face carved into it. It's Ivan as a potato.
What suit you reckon he's rocking to the Dally M's?
A potato?
Yeah.
Potato suit.
Well, you just get a mini tux made. Who's a great suit designer? You
Or
just get
maybe
MJ Bale?
maybe aluminium foil, and like he cuts himself over and put like little butter and
Yeah.
shit in him.
Sour cream on his
Yeah,
head?
sour
Oh,
cream.
is he
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
in an egg cup
Yeah.
sort of a thing, you know? Just getting
Do you know what I
shared
mean?
in.
He goes as a baked potato.
and he's
Oh,
baked.
he's baked. He gets baked for the Dally
And
M's.
his eyes are all red. He's like the Tau guy off South Park.
Towley, yeah.
Towley.
Like
Fuck,
Towley, yeah.
That potato can coach, though. My God.
Yeah.
One of the great rugby
What do you reckon
league
his
minds.
speech is saying?
He doesn't say anything, does he?
You know what he says?
'Cause he's a potato.
He says,
No.
look, you don't need too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, he might say that.
Yeah.
Or given that he's a potato, he might not say
He
a
might,
thing.
he might not say anything at all.
Who would carry him around?
Well,
Cleary's
you'd have someone like paid by the club.
The potato handler.
Yeah.
That'd be a clause.
That'd be a
Potato
clause.
Yeah.
He needs like a...
Nathan Cleary clause.
Yeah.
Someone's got to carry this fucking potato
if
to
this
and from.
if this potato's handler gets sacked, I'm leaving.
The Cleary clause. Apparently, there's other players that have Cleary clauses where like they don't have to play Nathan Cleary.
Oh really? I
You're
thought you were going to say there'd be all the players have got if Nathan leaves.
If
I'm
Nathan
leaving
leaves,
too.
I'm
I'm leaving
leaving.
too.
Could you? They would do that, wouldn't they? There'd be something like that. If Cleary gets fucking...
Could you put that in? If Nathan goes, I'm going.
I'll tell you what. If you're desperate to keep him, just put it in. So could you just imagine you put a clause in that you don't have to play Nathan Cleary? Like, so you're an opposing team, and it's called the Cleary clause.
Like Hopper not wanting to play on Sundays. It's
He's
like,
just like,
yeah, look,
I don't want
if
to play. I don't want to play Cleary.
Yeah. Or
Clear
Talakai.
Yeah, or Talakai.
Yeah.
Just
No,
list-
seriously, if I'm a centre and I'm marketing him, I've got a
Talakai
Talakai clause, 100%.
Yeah.
If Siffer's playing the centres, I'm fucking out.
I'm not playing. There's no way.
injured.
I think a Talakai clause will be in a lot of centres' contracts going forward.
Yeah, I think so. I think it makes
All the
sense.
smart ones.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe even a Staggs clause.
Not Brad Parker's, though. Too strong.
Oh, no, Brad wouldn't have that. Well, I mean, luckily for Talakai, Brad's on the other side.
Yeah, but he could play that side.
No, Brad could play wherever the fuck
he
he
wouldn't
wanted.
care.
Okay. I'd put in a Talakai clause.
Yeah, so would I.
Fuck that.
In fact, I'd put in a clause where I don't have to play.
Just a fucking
I just get
let
paid.
me watch clause. Yeah.
just a no pay.
Like, I get named every week, but I don't ever play.
Cheerleader clause. Give me the pom-poms.
Yeah.
How good are clauses?
Clauses are, mate, you can have some fun with clauses.
You can take the piss.
Sky's the limit with clauses. You can put whatever the fuck you want
What do you
in.
reckon the strangest clause ever put in is?
Jesus Christ.
Now you're putting us on the spot.
The strangest.
There'd be some weird clauses in some contracts, I reckon, especially like Hollywood actresses and that. and
Oh,
actors.
yeah, dude. Someone, I don't know who it was, like a rapper had like, I'm just going to say 50 Cent because I can't remember who it was, but I think it was. Or Mariah Carey, which is completely different. But their rider,
Well,
which is
similar.
like part
Close.
of when they perform, like you get the fucking, what they provide for you at the venue, was like a bubble bath filled with chocolate milk.
Was that on a movie? Think it was.
Who knows, dude?
Because that's stories in my head as well.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just that you've heard it and it wasn't in a movie. Maybe that, you know, we're living in a movie. Ever think of that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm
or a
with you.
simulation.
Same thing.
Well,
Yeah.
look, you know they're doing tests to
I know,
see
it's
if we
fucking
are living in
wild.
a simulation.
Yeah, but fuck that, as if they can work it out. If we're in a simulation, there's
Look,
probably
I'm tell-
things in there that mean
People
you can't
1,000
work
years
it
ago
out.
would look at what we do today going, that is fucking wild. Like you talking to another person on the other side of the world with a little...
No, I just want to mean, if you're in the simulation, how are you ever going to know if you're in the simulation?
Have you
we've
played The
worked
Sims?
out- I have played The Sims.
Just like that.
Well, they don't know that they're in the simulation.
My Sims
The
did.
idea apparently is that if we are in a simulation, the world would render around you as opposed to just existing,
Yes.
and they can test that somehow.
Yeah. It's crazy. But-
Unless the simulation is way more advanced than we are.
In
and
which
that
case it wouldn't
just
work.
render. It's not like it's got a slow internet speed, our simulation. So it's like, oh, well, you can notice the rendering because it's, do you know what I mean? Surely, if this is a simulation, you know, why isn't Manly winning every comp? If it's my life, like, why isn't Manly winning every year? What the fuck's going on?
What's crazy is it's actually like a serious theory. Could you...
No,
could
it's
you-
taken very
Yeah,
seriously.
Could
Yes.
you Google this? Oh, you've got it up, have you?
I've just Googled like weirdest clauses. And
Yep.
there's one, he's called Giuseppe Reina. And he made his football team, German football team, put a clause in, 3-year deal. Every year in his deal, they have to build a house for him. And they accepted it. But the club didn't write in the contract how big the house had to be. So they built him a Lego house 3 years in a row.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
so his
They
lawyer
fucked him.
fucked up.
His lawyer, they got him. They thought he got reverse clause. You know,
Oh,
reverse
yeah,
you know,
they pushed back in the humping.
Holy shit, yeah, they pushed back.
There was a F1 driver whose name escapes me that had some weird clauses in there where like his bonuses just got crazy the amount of points he got.
Yeah.
And ended up fucking nearly gone bankrupt. Mate had to pay him.
Because they go, oh, there's no way he'll fucking go that good.
Yeah, something
sweet.
like that.
Then he kills it. It's like, oh shit, you did what we hoped you'd do, but now we're
Whoops.
broke.
Yeah,
Yes.
what were any crazy
Simulation.
clauses in yours?
No, I mean, I was just lucky to
Has
get
to
a
keep
contract.
his mouth shut
Yeah.
in the change room.
Yeah, fucking
Otherwise
hell.
piss the boys off.
Yeah, yeah.
Has to let the boys smack his ass as they walk in. But crazy like demands that I've seen is like certain celebrities that want like they have to have X amount of like M&Ms and like the bottles of water have to be like at specific temperatures and all
Yeah.
this crazy shit. When you're getting into that territory, you've lost touch
You've
with
lost
reality.
You could be a real fuckwit if you
Yeah.
wanted to.
Oh.
Like, I want 10,000 M&Ms, but I only want yellow ones.
Oh,
No reds.
Imagine-
M&M's, yellow. Fair call.
Pen-
I love-
yeah, but yellow colour.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
Otherwise, I won't eat them.
the gossip like videos or whatever that they're gossiping about the most hard celebrities to deal with, and it's like the stories that you hear, you're just like, this person's living on another fucking planet.
Just like completely lost touch with what is a reasonable.
We won't
request
get
from
into it,
someone.
but I've been watching that Johnny Depp
Defamation case.
case. It is crazy viewing. Crazy viewing. It's
Hey,
like you're
let's
watching
not put fucking Ghislaine Maxwell's trial on TV, but let's televise Johnny Depp and Amber Heard shitting
crazy
on the bed.
viewing. Absolutely insanity.
Allegedly.
But yeah, so crazy clauses.
There was poo involved.
Well, there was
allegedly.
poo and it looked human.
And it was in a bed.
Well, it's too big for their dog.
She shit the bed.
She shit in his bed. On
Amber
his
turd.
side.
Amber turd.
Amber turd. Allegedly.
Allegedly, reportedly.
Reportedly, allegedly.
The look on her face as he's explaining the poo in the bed, she's like,
Imagine having a fight with your misso.
good luck having a career though, right? Like,
and
after
then
that.
you get home and there's a shit in the bed. You'd be like,
Like, I could see a world where, and again, I haven't really been watching it, but I can see a world where Johnny Depp's career continues to in some capacity after this. But like, if you've been shitting in his bed, that to me just seems like people are like,
Poo-based rhetoric not super palatable.
yeah.
the rhetoric's palatable. Everyone loves a poo chat, but
yeah,
if
but you
doing
can't.
it-
But you can't go into an interview and go, listen,
I
like
poo in
I'm going to
beds.
address the
Maybe she
elephant
has a
in the
poo
room.
clause in her contracts.
well,
Where she can poo in beds if she wants.
Yeah.
Sure.
that'd be eyes up from her.
It would be.
Good eyes up
I'm going
poo.
to cover myself here.
Yeah.
Because then if anyone calls you out on it, you go, mate, there's a clause right
It's
here.
called
I
a
mean-
poo clause.
Yeah, it's a poo
Haven't you heard of it?
Yeah, hey, get a lawyer, dude.
What do you got?
It's got a poo clause.
The simulation theory there, Matty?
No, I wasn't listening to that because I was looking up this other
Wow,
one.
so you're
Okay,
right. So
good.
he's just been run over by Talakai.
Oh, have you got something there?
No. What did you want me to look up?
Simulation theory.
Simulation theory.
I'm surprised you don't know what it is, if I'm being honest, but we hired you to know these things.
Yeah, okay. Not a big reader.
Yeah,
Not a
big
science
reader.
guy.
Did you finish school? He probably didn't
Yeah,
finish school,
no,
eh,
you
Tom?
didn't, did you?
Typical footy player.
You ever read a book?
Jesus.
Not a big simulation guy.
A simulation hypothesis is
What a loser.
is a proposal regarding the nature of existence, which
It's only your life we're
postulates
talking about here, you know.
that all of existence is an artificial simulation, such as a computer simulation.
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Simulation theory. Look into it. It'll blow your mind.
Do your own research.
It will,
on
but it
simulation
also
theory.
you can get really rabbit holey with it, and sometimes you'll find yourself getting a little stressed out down there.
Yeah, absolutely. Anxiety does increase because very serious people are seriously considering it.
Yes.
It's not a bunch of YouTube wackos going, fucking simulation theory. It's legit scientists and that are like, it's a possibility.
A distinct one.
Yeah. Which is mind-boggling. Like, what?
Some people have got it at 50-50. I'm like, Jesus.
Am I like plugged into something? Like,
I'm not worried.
Tom's not worried.
you're not worried?
No, don't
Let
worry,
him know.
guys. Not worried.
Cancel the research?
No, I'm saying like look into it, but like let's not worry.
Dior it, but let's not worry
Let's
about
not
it.
worry
Well,
too
but
much.
look, at the end of the day, if we discover we are in one, you know what'll happen?
What?
People will just fucking keep doing their thing.
Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck. That's,
What are we going to do? Oh, yeah. Like the Yanks came out and were like, yeah, we don't actually know what these unidentified flying objects are. There might be aliens. And everyone's like, meh, anyway, what's Johnny Depp
That
doing?
was
Oh, she pooed in his
wild,
bed.
eh? Like when the government basically confirmed, or not confirmed, but essentially
We don't know what these
Well, they
fucking
confirmed
crafts
that they
are.
don't know what they are.
they don't know what they are, and everyone was like, oh, that's crazy. It just kept going on.
Go
about
back to
their life.
bed,
That's my point.
America.
It's crazy.
Because the thing is, even as though they say they don't know what they are, the next day you still got to get up and go to work.
Yeah.
And like, the footy's still on and shit. So it's
Well,
just you go, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, fuck it.
The footy's still on.
There's
Fuck
too much
it.
going on.
Do you know what I mean?
Footy's still on.
Olakawatu's been suspended. What the fuck are we going to do?
Talakai's still thick. So yeah, there might be aliens, but it doesn't change,
Doesn't
the,
change the
thickness
thickness
of
of
Talakai.
Talakai, does it?
Does it?
It doesn't.
If it changed the thickness of him, I'd care.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
I'm like, yeah, of course there's aliens.
Schuster's thinking about trying to fucking get out of the contract.
Bigger fish to fry, bruh. That's why no one cares.
Fair call. Fair call. Now, preview. Broncos v the Sharks. Broncos same 1-17 after their famous victory on the weekend. I thought it was really telling. Like, one team got behind, didn't show fight, couldn't get back in the game. The other team got behind, fought tooth and nail to a famous victory. I thought that was interesting on the weekend.
You almost lost to the Dogs.
Over a side who's looking like going back to back.
Yeah. They're back-to-back premiers.
Back-to-back spoons, bro. Who in the Broncos outfit this week has the job of marking
Staggs.
Staggs.
It's thick boy versus thick boy.
I will say this, though, and no disrespect to Staggs, and again, we are not people who shit on players for when your bets don't come off, but Staggs couldn't score against the Dogs, so good luck against Talakai, baby. You know what I mean? He's going to get pounded by Talakai. He was in my Origin side until last week, and now he's not.
One thing a thick boy likes is other thick boys.
Staggs not thick when compared to Talakai.
You reckon Staggs not thick compared to Talakai?
Talakai's
Have you seen his highlights?
Staggs has got a Narbra on him.
He's got a Narbra of note.
Of a fucking massive
But he's
note.
not thickness.
But he's
squared.
not thickness to the power of thickness.
He's a thick boy.
As we said at the start of this, Dan,
He's not thickness.
he's not playing front row and then into the back row and then out of the centres with light.
I think he's still classified as thick.
Tong and Thor from Rugby Union.
Yeah.
Thickness personified.
Look,
thickness squared.
I still think he's
thickness incarnate.
If we said thick boy, he fits that description. Now, is he thick squared? No,
that's
he's
what
not
we're
thick
saying.
squared.
That's the point. I'm not saying he's not thick. What I'm saying is, how does his Narbra stack up with someone who is thickness to the power of thickness?
Yeah.
That's what we don't know.
That's the unknown.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
we
it
will
is an unknown.
we'll find out.
We'll
this
find out on
week.
the weekend.
We'll know.
Yeah,
We'll know on Thursday.
And you know what? I think it stacks up all right.
I don't.
You reckon?
Narbras have stood the test of time. Thickness, on the other hand, hasn't.
I don't think we've seen thickness like this before. That's what I'm saying.
The problem is we haven't seen a Narbra of note up against thickness to the power of thickness.
That's
It's
what
a
we
battle of
haven't seen.
Goliath.
Trust me.
Like, we've
the
seen
science
Narbras.
world stops and collectively holds their breath on Thursday night and all tune into this game. Might be the most watched game of the season.
Well,
for
it
that
has to be. Like Greg Inglis, Narbra sour. We all know about it, right? Is sour with thickness to the power of thickness.
He also Narbra.
Narbra is mostly.
Did he Narbra a few Manly boys in that while?
No.
Greg Narbra everyone. Greg
Well,
Narbra everyone.
Not Manly players.
Greg's ability
He bested Manly
Well,
players.
he had the greatest Narbra of all time. I think that's fair. Did GI. But this is a different beast.
Imagine being known for your Narbra. Like, I'm
It's such
king of
an
the
alpha.
Narbras.
Yeah, it's an alpha move.
Yeah, king of the Narbras.
And also, like, it's not like Greg Inglis is a try-hard in the traditional sense. He's very cruisy. Like, you know what I mean? It's
He
like,
just does
But
it.
that makes it better.
exactly. That's
He's
what
like
I mean.
Neo
He's
in
cruisy
Matrix,
Narbra.
just like when
Yeah.
he learns how to block all the shit.
You know, honestly, and this is no joke, one man that probably could have handled Talakai, and he's probably the only man, is the great Beaver Menzies. You know what I mean? If there's a man that could find a way to contain that thickness, it's probably Beaver Menzies.
Beaver could do it. Beaver could do everything.
You know why?
What?
Beaver's Dam.
Give me some of that.
Beaver's Dam, bruh.
Elaborate.
Talakai is water,
Yeah.
and he dams that shit.
We got a leak in that edge.
Yeah. He dams it.
Talakai-
Beaver's Dam,
Oh,
bruh.
Talakai is water.
Yes.
Oh.
We got a leak in the dam, the right side of the dam.
Yeah.
Beaver knows how to dam. He dams that up.
You would have said
Like
Talakai's a
stops.
shark, and he got dammed up in the shark.
Beavers
Dam.
dam things.
Okay.
Right? And
Yeah.
he's damming Talakai. He would have.
Do you reckon he would have called out Talakai? It's damn time, baby.
Yeah, fuck yeah. He would have gone, boom.
Snapped him in half. He's gone, damn.
And look, like a proud and noble dammer
Yeah.
that he was, he would have been disappointed with the leaks he saw on Thursday night.
Very leaky. It was leaky shit.
It was
Because
leaky.
beavers can't turn it off. They're like, fuck, dude, I just want to damn things.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't fucking lace up and run on.
Just plug the hole.
Just plug a hole.
Beaver's triggered by leaks. We know this.
It's pretty obvious. Really obvious.
So look, one of the great thick boy clashes between Staggs and Talakai. I can't wait for this game. Now, obviously, Sharks are flying high. Wade Graham has been named. Trindle is also in the reserves. Interesting, there was a bit of a whisper that Hines would play fullback. Now, I'm not sure if that's confirmed, though.
Is that because Kelly's out, did you say? Sorry, fucking...
Will Kennedy?
Will Kennedy?
Yeah, because he had a shoulder.
Just to clarify, Graham's been named in the extended
Extended
not to
reserves.
actually
Yeah,
play the
he's
game.
in extended.
So 18, 19.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah,
probably be
19.
back next week. But
So
yeah,
I just see Wade back.
I actually, the Nico Hines at fullback, I don't agree with it. It's probably the first move Fitzgibbon's made that I'm like, ooh. Because, like, I think he's so important at 7. That is if he does move to fullback. I understand why they're doing it, because they've got Trindle, they've got Moreland, they're both halves.
Yep.
But I think like Moylan is so crucial to their game. Sorry, not Moylan, Hines. I would probably have kept him there and brought in a young guy. They've actually got a young guy, Kevin Dyke or something along those lines, and he's killing it in reserve grade. They've also got Lockie William. Is Lockie what? Miller, who's also going really well in reserve grade. So very surprising move by Fitzgibbon. But you know what? He clearly knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
clearly knows what he's doing.
Craig knows what he's doing.
Craig's got it.
And, you know, Hines is like, we know he's a gun fullback. So maybe he can just essentially do the same thing.
So Lockie Miller and Luke Metcalf, who can both play fullback, are in the extended reserves.
Yeah,
so
okay.
they could go back there.
And they've also got another guy, I forgot his name, but he killed it on the weekend,
yeah,
like 200
he's not
plus
in
minutes.
the 25 though, so
Yeah, okay. Interesting. What's crazy is how much depth Sharks have now. Like, they've got Connor Tracy just sitting there, ready to go. Anyway, Broncos versus Sharks. We saw Reynolds. Vintage Reynolds stuff. We saw Payne Haas. Seriously. Did you just watch that Broncos game?
Yeah. His shoulder was fucked like from the first hit up.
And he came back on and ran for like 260
Is
metres.
he out or is he playing again?
No, he's playing again. Thoughts on this game, gentlemen?
Sharks win and win well.
Yep. I think Sharks win 15 plus.
Does it hurt you, this jumper?
Wrecked. No, I just wrecked you.
You wrecked me. Look, I think Broncos, they're at home. They've, it's called an ambush for a reason, and that's what's going to happen on the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, a 15 plus ambush.
Right.
So Broncos get a win. Titans, Panthers. Holy shit, I wouldn't want to be playing the Panthers this week.
No, it doesn't. Not good timing for the Titans.
Not at all. Brimo has been named at fullback. Will Smith at 5'8". Sammy back to the wing for Fita. Back to the second row. Campbell in reserves. Panthers 1-17. Sonny Luke retains his spot, the debutant from last week. Titans, I am so surprised that they don't put Campbell in at fullback and they're moving Brimo back there. I don't understand that call. I also didn't understand the Fafita call to centre. What did you guys think of the Fafita call to centre last week?
That, to me, was copy my homework but don't make it obvious. Talakai ripping and tearing in the centres, and then it was like, oi, let's try fucking do that as well. But
That'll work.
It's an injury thing. Let's just put it in there. Fuck, it didn't work.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Why would you? What?
And they had guys that could have fit there.
Mate,
Jaden Campbell's literally playing reserve grade. What the fuck's he going on here?
I honestly don't know.
has it. Because he was fucking ripping and then he got dropped, or was he injured?
No, he's
So he
injured.
got injured rib cartilage. He wasn't going too bad. And then ever since then, they've signed Jermaine Asako. And Asako, obviously he's moved from fullback now, but I don't get, like, you need Brimo and Sexton playing as much footy as possible together in the halves. But instead you bring in Will Smith and Campbell's not even in the side. Like, how Campbell isn't in the side, I don't understand. He ripped last year. He was their best player when he was playing. So I'm not understanding that at all. But we do know Brimo, gun fullback.
Yes.
So
OJ can play.
Someone left a comment yesterday.
It's not gonna matter.
And this actually makes a little bit of sense. I think Sammy was ruled out really, really late, so they actually couldn't bring in Thompson or anyone to cover, and that's maybe why Fafita went to centre.
yeah, even then,
Not certain though.
I'm putting Firma there before I'm putting for Feuda. But
Not going right for the Titans this year, is
not
it?
at all. Not at, like, surprisingly.
No.
Your older brother, Cam Smith, had him in the top 6.
Well,
mate, a lot of people had him
we
in the
look up
fucking
to
top
it. We look
eight.
up to Cam a lot, but there are times when he's an absolute idiot.
Did you pull him up when he said that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
in the chat.
we audio message back to him, go, bruh, you got that wrong.
Oi, bro.
Bro.
Brother.
Big brother. Big
Big
brother.
brother.
You got
Yeah.
that wrong.
Idiot.
Pull your head in.
Yeah,
Listen
pull
to
your
us
head
next
in.
time. Rugby league's all about vibe, mate.
What would you know?
What would you know, mate?
Titans versus Panthers.
I
Panthers.
think there might be another humping.
Oh, there's a hump and a foot.
I'm sensing a humping.
Yeah.
I can't
Good old-fashioned humping?
I can't hide what I feel.
It's a 13 pluser. That's for sure.
13 pluser. Panthers right now.
20 plus.
How hot are they right now, honestly?
Bruh, they're so fucking hot. They don't even look like losing.
They honestly look like they've got another gear in them too.
They 100%. It's scary
It's
where they're
piping
at.
hot.
They're piping hot.
Yeah.
And
They've got
they
their
lose those troops and they go,
Whatever.
Kero.
Whatever.
They had
Doesn't
like
matter.
5 of their main starters out at the start of the year for the first few weeks and still just blew teams off the park.
Piping.
It's insane. Like, I say it every single week, but I want to know what happened in that 6-month period where they went from barely making finals to absolute masters of the humping.
Steroids. That's a joke.
That was a joke, people.
joking.
What is crazy is like, and this I'm being serious. A lot of fans think that like that's like this dirty little secret. Like a lot of footy players, like they just assume it. I promise you this, guys. I've never ever had a conversation or seen things, any performance enhancing.
Oh,
drugs.
you mean steroids? Dirty little secret.
Like in rugby league, they're all on it. All professional athletes on it. I swear on my mother's grave, I never had a conversation about it. It was never brought up. Like no performance enhancing stuff, like at all, and we get tested all the time as well.
They don't. I mean, obviously, there's different ways you can do it, but none of them look like they're on roids.
Yeah,
they just all look fucking thick.
And they train
And strong.
I don't think people understand
Looks
how
strong.
hard they train. Like I remember, so when I retired or quit, retire's like a fucking. Let's give myself a rap there.
You were.
Quit.
Yeah.
Limped out sadly, maybe.
Forced
Like,
retirement.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did they
Not
offer
really
you?
forced,
Did
but-
they offer you
Encouraged retirement.
like a lap of the oval at the
No,
grand final?
they
grand
didn't
final?
fucking mention me. They didn't even mention me. It was just like,
You went in the car at the end?
see ya, bro. Nah, no way.
You think you'd do a lap with like fucking what year did you retire?
Nah, 2000. It wasn't even retired. Just like quit. Honestly, retire.
What
is
year did you
given-
quit?
I quit 2012, and so obviously started drinking, started partying, doing all the good stuff that I'd missed out on as a kid growing up. And then I get a call to come back. But I went back, I trained for 2 weeks, like literally 2 weeks, and was psycho training in the preseason. And my body shape went like that. Like that's how hard they train. The reason why I'm bringing it up is to say like, that's the training is so hard and so intense that it could make anyone have a decent rig quickly.
I
so you
want
don't need.
to. Well, then maybe we need to get through an NRL preseason.
I'm telling you, it would change.
Pre-seasons are in horizontal season. They
I know.
overlap.
Yeah, it's tough for us.
Tough. It's
That's
impossible.
where-
It
that's
can't
our-
be done.
It's one of the most important seasons for us
What, you think I'm going through a pre-season in December?
during horizontal season.
Fucking way.
It's so hot.
Nah.
It's so hot.
Nah.
Pre-seasons are you don't.
You would die.
Oh yeah, comfortably.
You would. You know what you would do though, and I'm being serious. You would actually cry in a session.
I don't doubt that at
In
all.
a session?
Yeah.
In
Well,
What are
all
you
of
a
talking
few
about, mate?
sessions.
I'm crying in fucking ads for the block. Like I'll cry at anything.
Like
Yeah.
I can see you in a fitness session, and like the boys going, "Fucking mate, the time's Tom. Fuck me when I want to do extras, mate." And you going, "I fucking can't do it. My knee hurts." I can see that.
Imagine
Yeah,
how many
dude.
extras you'd be responsible for.
Constantly, dude. But we'd win the comp that year because of the standard I'd set, which is never give up.
That's the thing, though. I think you would give up.
But I never would. But I would technically. But like I'd keep turning up, even if I was.
Well, he
like,
would just, you know, my fucking shin splints are playing up,
Yeah.
and he just would stop.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't quit, but he wouldn't be training either. Do you know what
Or
I
I'd
mean?
literally like break a bone, and it was like, oh, we actually medically have to stop him now.
Okay. What's crazy is like nearly every preseason, it gets so intense. Like people are like running, spewing up as they're running. It gets that hard. Like while they're running, there's spew coming out their fucking mouth.
That's nice.
What's the hardest thing you ever did in
the army
pre-season?
camps. The army camps.
The army camps.
They are. I can't express to you how mentally straining they are. And I could sit here and describe everything to you, but until you are sleep deprived, being forced to kill chickens in the middle of the forest with Brad Thorne ripping someo's head, a chicken's head off.
Okay, that's
You don't know
different.
what's
I didn't expect
going
that.
on. Until you've got stun grenades being thrown at you in the middle of the night. So like
Holy shit! No, that sounds pretty.
it was wild. So this is the first
Ripping
one.
chickens' heads off.
Yeah, so we'd been going for like 2 days. I think we had like one protein bar each, like starving, like so fucking hungry. And so we go a day, and then the second day they're like, look, they bring out a silver, like a pot, and they're like, there's some chickens. He said, boys, it's your choice. You can eat or not eat. There's some hot water, there's a pot. And so I was like, I'm not fucking killing a chicken. And so we're all wigging out going, what's going on here? And Brad Thorne just walks up, he goes, give it here. He goes, boom, pulls it, goes, balls, rips its head off, and then just starts plucking it and puts it in the fucking thingo. And then we're all eating like, oh, fuck, this is fucked.
Did you eat it?
God.
Yeah, I ate it. Yeah, because you are so hungry, I can't express it. And then we did some more, we worked all day.
Was it like really primal in terms of who ate first? Like, did the beaters eat last?
No, it's very...
You just get the feet.
Yeah, like Brad got the liver and
Yeah,
shit.
You know what?
yeah,
You know
I
what's
like
crazy
good
is like, it's actually the most equality that there is, because you need everyone. If you treat anyone poorly, your group will suffer in that they may not, carry something well.
Yeah.
So it's actually, everyone is going out of their way. By serving you, they lead you, if you know what I mean? Like your leader is your biggest servant kind of
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, so we do that, we kill it, we eat it, we're going all day again. Finally, we get to bed at like, would have been 12 at night. And then at I found out later it was 3 o'clock. So at like 2 in the morning, you just see this boom, 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 and then over like 100 meters, the other group was over 100 meters away. We hear this boom, 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 all these fucking explosions going off, and we're like, we're sleeping just on the side of the road, like no camp, nothing. We've got our sleeping bags and a bag, and that's it. And you're in the same clothes you've been in the whole time, so you stink like shit. Anyway, stun grenades, and then Mickey Innes is going, fucking settle down, this is fucking crazy, going skits. And we're all going, what the fuck's going on? And they're like, get down and do push-ups. Pack your stuff up, we've got to leave, we're getting attacked by enemies or whatever, because they role play.
Yeah.
Anyway, so everyone's like tired as trying to put everything, and then basically what they do is the people that get packed up first have to do push-ups until everyone's ready. So you're wigging out and you've done it. So you're sitting there pushing up and people are like trying to get everything together and they're like, fucking hurry up. And you're getting angry because that guy's taking ages because he's going really slow. And then so they get us all together. They're like, get in line, march. And so we march. They take us into this like cornfield or whatever. And they're like, here's a fucking compass. Here's a map. You've got to navigate your way through the night like to this point or whatever. And then like, so people were dropping out. Got to a point where there was like a mutiny. Fucking Justin Hodges was like getting all the boys together. And he's like, this is fucked. They can't treat us like dogs. There's some fucking bullshit. And he's trying to...
That sounds exactly like Justin Hodges.
Like, this is fucking bullshit. We're treating us like dogs. We haven't eaten. Like there's no respect. Rah, rah. Anyway, so
mutiny.
And so he gets all other big dogs involved, and I'm like, I'm not fucking getting involved in none of that shit. And so other big dogs, they go over to them, and so the plan basically was that they would just walk to up Sunshine Coastways. They would just walk to the highway, and they'd just catch a car and just get out of there. So they go up to the superior officers, and they're like, it's weird because like when the superior officers are talking to you normally, it's army sergeant shit. Like they don't joke with you, they don't smile. If you smile at them, they'll be like, what the fuck are you smiling at? And they get in your face and that. Anyway, so they go up to him, and when the senior officer knew that Hodjo was serious about the mutiny, he all of a sudden goes into like a negotiation kind of mode, and so he's talking to him, trying to like back him down a little bit. Anyway, 10 minutes later, you see Hodjo having a dart on the back of the thingo, and all he needed was a dart, and he was fucking good to go. And he was a king. He was a king the rest of the day. Like, he killed it.
That's all he wanted was a dart.
He just needed a fucking dart. He just needed a dart, and he killed it the rest of the fucking thing.
That is so funny.
I like that.
And so
good stuff.
And they do mental
How many
games.
days is it for?
It's 6 days all up.
Fuck. So
they
when
don't
you're
do that anymore.
when you're on the way to it, you're like, this is going to suck. Do you know you're in for a shithole? Or you'd be like, oh, this will be a bit of fun.
No, so, and I've told this story a few times, so apologies to people that have listened. So I wasn't in the first grade squad. And this was my first, so I played 1 year of footy, and at the start of that first year, I was in the under-19s. By the end of the year, I had been called into the Clydesdales with reserve grade. And so I played the last 7 games. In the off-season, I was supposed to go back to reserve grade and train with them in a full pre-season. So I was contracted to the Broncos, but I wasn't in the top 30. I was in the reserve, just a junior contract or whatever. Anyway, Brett Seymour gets injured. And like I didn't know he was injured, but he got a shoulder reconstruction. And this is 2005 going into 2006. And I was at South Bank, I remember it clearly. And I get a call from Ivan Hinjak, who was the assistant coach at the time. And he's like, hey mate, Brett Seymour's injured. He can't come on the season camp with us, the pre-season camp with us. We would love you to join us. And I was like, fuck, I was honestly nearly crying because I'm in the first grade squad. I can't believe it. Like, this is crazy. But at the time, I didn't know I was being tested. Anyway, so he's like, mate, bring your boardies, bring your singlet. It's a bonding. We're just going up there to drink beers and bond, and everyone gets to know each other before the pre-season starts off.
So you got fucking hoodwinked.
So I'm sitting there stoked. At the time, my missus, I'm calling her. I'm like, I'm in the first grade squad. I like my drip. Like, this is incredible. I can't believe it. This is the Brisbane Broncos. So I rock up, boardies, singlet, shirt, already nervous as. Like, I haven't met these guys. I don't know them. They're the big dogs. We won the comp that year. We walk in, we're sitting around, and I'm like this little skinny, would have been like 75 kilos at the time, like just so nervous, not talking to anyone. And we're all sitting around just talking. Everyone's like, fuck yeah, like we're going to have beers, Sunny Coke's going to go out, it's going to be sick. Then this army drill sergeant sprints in with like 4 dudes behind him, and he's getting in people's faces, put that fucking phone down now, get outside, get outside. And Barrow was like, fuck off, mate, like laughing, like, you're kidding yourself, like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And then like Barrow then realised it was serious. He thought it was a prank. And so we're all going, fuck, what's going on? So we put our phones down like straight away. We go outside. They're like, get naked. So they get us all fucking clothes off.
We're all like a bit of nudity.
You're thinking you're about to go away with the boys on a trip. It's like, what the fuck?
And so we get down to our undies. And we're just standing out in the field and we're like all in line, like army lines like that. And we're all looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on? And they just like throw a bag at us and they're like, everything you need is in there. And we open it up. We've got they got boots. We've got army fit, like pants, these green shirts. And they're like, put it on. And yeah, you get in the bus. And then for 6 days we were gone. Like they had to contact all of the partners and that to let them know where we'd gone. Because we didn't speak to anyone we didn't know. And the partners are wigging out after like a few hours going, what's going on? And they would do things. So they took us up to Sunshine Coast, towed us up for 3 days. And then they're like, all right, boys, you killed it. Well done. Like they'd start talking to us like, normal people. Well done. It's incredible what you've done, what you've achieved. You work together. This is how far you can push yourselves. And we're going, fuck yeah, this is sick. They're like, boys, get on the buses. Fucking oath. This is great. And they're like, look, we're going to head down south. This is going to be great. Rah, rah. And we're thinking, this is it. Like we've done it. This is great. How good. We've worked hard. Now we're going to go out in the beers, whatever. We go past one exit. And we're all looking around like, oh, no, we're going in another exit. Go past another exit to the Gold Coast. We're going, and then people started getting anxiety, like, oh, fuck. Go past another exit. Anyway, they take us down. Then we realise, oh, fuck. They take us down to North New South Wales. It's the Stinson, I think it's called. It's this, like a plane that crashed there. And they towel us up for another 3 days.
Oh my God.
And like, it gets so bizarre and weird. So we hadn't had any showers by that stage. The only shower, they said, look, if you want to have a shower, there's a creek right there. So we go have a shower in the creek. We get out. Everyone's got fucking leeches all over them.
Oh,
got ticks and everything in us. All that shit.
Fuck.
It got so bad that Scotty Minto, the great Scotty Minto, he's like, I can't sleep, like wigging out, goes to the sergeant, like, I can't sleep. I'm so fucked up in the head. Like, I need to sleep, rah, rah. Sergeant eventually breaks and he's like, all right, mate, here you go. Here's a sleeping tablet. Gives it to him. Scotty Minto goes back, gets to sleep. Next day, wakes up and they're like, that was just a Panadol, bro. So they just fuck with your head. And so on the last day, eventually, they're like, it's over, boys. They took us to do some like paintball shit and they taught us like how to clear rooms and that. And that was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And so that was my first army camp. That was the craziest. I lost 10 kilos. Darius lost 12 kilos. And that's why we don't do army camps that long anymore, because it takes like 2 months to get that back.
Do you reckon they're effective? Or was it a bit? Yeah?
100%. Like I know now, so I ended up doing like 3 or 4 army camps after that. And so I know now, like, I can, whatever is there, you can get through it.
Like your limit, or not your limit, but like,
you're limitless. You really are. Like, it's so revealing to you of like how much you actually can take. Everyone can do it. You just got to. Obviously, there are some people that break and aren't as good as others. But for me personally, it was a real eye. It was so much so that I think it was my 3rd army camp, or maybe my second or third army. Yeah, my 2nd army camp. They said the sergeant or whatever, or the officer, he said, mate, we'd really like guys like you. If you ever want to come try out for the SAS, we would love to have you. And I was like, bruh.
SAS Australia, get in touch.
No,
Celebrity.
no way. I would never do it.
Yes.
Never ever.
We'll hold the fort down. We'll
Now
host all
we're
the fucking
talking.
shows.
I would never ever do that again.
You go do it.
You'd be good, mate. What if you won?
No, I would never do that ever in a million years.
I don't know.
No way.
Never in a million years.
If it
Never
makes
in a million years.
dollars,
You couldn't pay me. Honestly, you couldn't pay me enough to go through.
You wouldn't
that
do it
again.
for $1 million.
Nah,
Bullshit.
100%. Nah, wouldn't do it for $1 million. Wouldn't do it for $1 million.
Breaking news: there's a guy bullshitting right next to us.
You know how long those things like, they're like 12 weeks of fucking whatever.
You could
Stuff
do
that.
it.
No
Do
way.
it.
But yeah, it was crazy, and it's just funny seeing how different people react and how surprised you are at people you didn't think would kill it. It's really interesting, but it's going to sound crazy. I honestly recommend every person does at least a 2 to 3 day one, because it will make you a stronger person. 100%. It'll improve your life.
I could think of nothing worse with the
I
greatest
promise
respect.
you.
I'd fucking hate it.
I guarantee you'd walk out and you would say, "I'm so glad I did."
I
that."
would hate it.
I'd hate it.
I would hate it.
It's so.
I'd be whinging within an hour.
Yeah.
It
Having my
crazy.
sleep disrupted. I'd be
Yeah,
just-
exactly. My fucking feet hurt.
My back would be playing up.
Yeah.
Be all
Got
over
a
the place,
blister.
mate.
Dude, a blister will floor me.
That's the thing. All the little things that you learn in the first camp for the second one, like making sure that it's preventative rather than waiting until you get chafe. You know, this making
Chafe,
sure
dude.
air your feet out so they don't get all fucking fucked up with blisters down. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it reveals your character. Like it really does. And also it makes you appreciate the army. How fucking tough these motherfuckers. These are a different breed. And what's crazy is like these sergeants. They basically do what we do. They're never angry or like sooky or like this sucks or whatever. They're always just like, got a job to do. It's an incredible. I honestly recommend any person just once in your life do a 2 to 3 day course. Just do a 2 day. Do 48 hours. I promise you'll be glad you did it because you'll see a part of yourself that you haven't seen before. Anyway, once again, made about myself. Sorry, guys. Apologise.
Titans 2 lose to the Panthers.
Panthers.
So where we're going with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Panthers, I think they get a big win here.
Yeah.
And I think it's the worrying thing for the Titans now is like if they lose by a substantial margin, their confidence is going to take an even bigger hit and it could become concerning for them going forward.
Yep.
But I hope they do because I really like the Titans and I like what they're aiming towards. They've got a young squad. They seem like they've got a plan. So hopefully they can put up a bit of a battle. But Panthers look too hot at the moment. South versus Manly. First time starting for Tass on the centres. Havili joins the bench. Tapau, Kepi returns. Cooler named at centre. Ben Trebojevic is in.
Ooh, like that.
Ben. I was actually looking at that. I was like, when I was looking, is he in the 17, Matty? Fuck yeah. Because I was wondering why I hadn't heard from Ben this year. Good that we got Tapau and Kepi back. We need to. Our middle's been...
Yeah, Ben Trebojevic is on the bench.
Like
yeah.
that.
Our middle's been the biggest issue we've had all season, to me. And whilst I think Aloye is the most important part of that, Tapau and Kepi very good, and we need to thicken up and stiffen up our middle. So
Big stiffy.
Middle third, shout out Corey Parker. Stubby named
I will say Corey Parker, like I know the middle 30 does say it quite a bit, but I think he's improved so much.
I like him as a commentator, but he just loves the middle third. I watched NRL 360.
So does Cooper Cronk. He loves the middle third too.
Yeah,
on
he doesn't
NRL
mind middle
360 last night, Corey Parker said middle third twice in his first sentence on the show. I'm not even joking. Go watch it. First sentence, middle third twice, and then his third time, less than 4 minutes later. I love it, but he loves it more.
We loves the middle third.
Who doesn't love the middle third, dude?
I honestly, and I know you think this too, but I think he's improved so much
Yeah,
as a sideline
definitely.
commentator. But he does love middle third rhetoric. I would love a counter.
Yeah, dude. Let's get down
How many do you reckon he gets through in a year?
It'll be outright. Well, dude, as I said, he got through 2 in his first sentence.
In a game, I reckon you're looking at 10 to 20 minimum.
I think, ooh.
Dude, now
on a good
that's
day,
something-
25, 30.
Get a market on that, Neds.
I will say we were actually going to do, I spoke to Matty about it, but he never follows through with anything. We were going to do because people always pizzle me for saying, sayings that I say all the time, and obviously Guru. And so we were going to do like a counter, like in the corner of like
Just pings
how
on
many
it,
times
yeah.
Guru says narrative or how many times I say don't get me wrong or something like that. And if we hit a certain amount, as an apology, we'll give away a case to a lucky viewer or something. So if Matt does his job, we might get
One
that
day
up.
that'll happen. I mean, you've only got 4.5 hours of fucking content to sift through and count every single one, Matty.
Jesus
so just
Christ.
do it, dude.
But it is hard because when you think about it, like you've actually got to pay someone to sit there and fucking... Because you can't make him watch the whole thing again.
Dean Ritchie.
To sit there and count it. Oh, yeah, because F words.
He
You
loves
could
to
just have
count.
someone in the corner just counting.
Yeah, maybe we get
Like a
an
bouncer.
intern in here.
Yeah, intern Dean.
But the only problem is you have to also know the time it happens so that the counter in the corner goes ding, ding, ding. It's actually a lot of work.
It's a shitload of work.
It's a shitload of work.
It's a shitload of work.
We're not paying someone for it,
No.
so
Is it too much work?
probably.
Never
But-
say never.
No.
Not with that attitude, you won't get anywhere.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Manly
No.
win, though.
Manly win and win well. That's what we do know.
Yeah. South's nowhere. at
South
the
couldn't even
moment.
beat the Tigers.
Yeah.
So...
Look, this is going to be a great game because South's obviously looking for a bounce back game. It really all depends. If South's complete high, they get the W. If they complete low again, Manly get the W. I think Souths have a bounce back game, unfortunately, boys.
I think that Manly win by 13 points or more.
Wow. Wow.
I think Ben maybe gets his first NRL try.
Is this his first
Can't
game
believe
since his debut?
I don't know. He's played a couple. I think.
Not many.
He's played 2 to 3 maybe, but I think Ben gets over
This is
for
his fifth game.
Fifth game,
But none
okay.
this year.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be a great clash, but I think South just pip them, unfortunately.
No disrespect, but
Apologies.
I don't have any respect for that opinion.
I've got a stat for this game.
Yes.
The last time Manly beat South, since the last time Manly beat South have ended Manly's season twice.
What'd you say? Say that again.
Since the last time Manly's beaten South have ended Manly's season twice.
Misleading stat.
Yeah, it is. It does nothing to do with
misleading.
anything. This isn't about ending the season.
What's that got to do with a round 9 game?
Well,
Yeah.
metaphorically, they're going to end your season because after this, it's all downhill.
Look.
Nah, that's a reach, dude. That's a
It's
reach.
too early.
That's a reach. It's
a reach?
round 7.
Reach?
Oh, big reach.
Reach around?
Oh, it's a
Huge reach around. Huge reach around. Look, I
That's
don't
great stat
take
there,
any
Matty.
stock
Great
in that.
stat.
I don't take
No.
any stock.
Don't
Well, I
say
don't
so.
really take anything Matty says seriously.
No.
Warriors v the Raiders.
Great
what
game.
What did you think about the craziness that was the 70-10 score?
Well,
It was, mate, like, what was the score at half time? It was like
14 to
12,
6 or
14
something.
to 6
10 or something. 14-10 or 16-10.
something like that, something tight. And then I was having a couple of beers up at the Mossman RSL, just
Couple bloke on bus.
winding out my Anzac Day.
Couple of blokes, obviously.
100%. And I look up and it was fucking, they'd put on like 40 points
They
in
scored like
10 minutes.
they scored
56 second half points.
56 second half points.
But
not
even
that.
still, a
Yeah.
lot of them were like
Yeah.
tacked into the second half of the
Yeah.
second half.
33 minutes or something. They scored.
Crazy, mate.
Warriors
David
not
Coates
good,
had
but
a
also the
field day.
Storm are
yeah.
just like cheat code good at the moment.
Yeah, they are.
Like
They truly are.
Pappenhausen's so good. Fucking Hughes, Munster, Grant. Like that spine is just one of the great spines.
When they all start to
had.
throb,
Their side is
it's
disgustingly
like
good.
you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
fuck.
dude, I can't
Handful.
like. I mean, it's
It's
pulsating
like one of those like slugs. You could like, oh.
like a sea slug.
You just, a big one of those huge fucking sea slugs.
Trying to like, mate, like
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do when they turn it
No,
on.
nothing you can do. Nothing you can do.
Literally nothing you can do. And the Warriors felt the full force of that.
yeah.
For 20 minutes, it looked like they weren't trying.
It was
Like
crazy.
they were just going, come through, sir.
Yeah. Welcome.
But like, what was insane is like even the commentators were like 2 minutes to go were like, surely the Storm can't score here, and then Munster just sets up a little inside ball play. He breaks the line, pass to Juzzy, ball, big fan, try time.
Thanks for coming.
Crazy.
Yeah, they can score with a minute to go.
How
No
good
worries.
is Ryan Pappenhuisen's fucking hair?
Well, the hair's good, but he's also
Mate,
thickened a bit.
I think his form and his hair are direct correlations of
Also,
each other.
his also his biceps. Form comes from hair,
Yep.
biceps.
Now, do we reckon the highlights are natural, or do we think there's been a little?
I
bit
think
of-
they're natural.
I think, well,
I mean,
but I
Cam-
wouldn't be surprised if he,
I'm in Campo
He sits down in a
Natural.
chair.
I can spot a fucking dyed hair. That looks natural to me.
See, I
You
think it's
reckon
been
that's-
highlighted.
I don't
and
reckon-
I like the fact it's been
I
highlighted.
reckon it's been highlighted. I reckon it's been played with.
No,
because
that's natural.
I think he's almost that haircut is almost becoming his trademark.
You were a barber, though.
I was
but
a
you didn't
barber.
work with colour.
No, but my point being is that when the base of the hair, usually your truest colour, your thickness, but then as it grows out, the ends of it
Pretty bright,
can change colour naturally.
but it's like from
It's
here.
really bright.
It's a natural balayage.
reach out.
You reckon that's natural balayage?
I think it's natural balayage.
I don't reckon. I don't reckon that's natural balayage
Mate,
at all.
I'm
Can
just
you
saying,
explain what balayage is?
Balayage
for?
is where it starts one colour and then just casually changes.
you learn
another
that
colour.
from?
The missus. If you have a missus who hasn't had
br-
balayage,
it's
what
brown
are you
into
doing?
blonde. You
Yeah.
don't ever see blonde into brown.
No,
Very rarely.
You don't. It's usually
you
a
never
brown
do.
base and then into. It's a balayage mullet. I love it.
Balayage
and it's
mullet.
natural.
I don't think so. I don't think
Ryan,
so.
reach out.
I don't think it's natural either, but I'm glad that it's not because I like the effort he's putting in.
I think it's natural.
and I think it's becoming his trademark. Reach out, Snackenhusen.
I didn't think I would like the balayage mullet as
Yeah.
much as I do.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it's a throwback.
It's a real throwback, and
But
it's,
with a hint of modern, because the balayage is, I believe, a modern hair trend. So it's a throwback to the mullets of yesteryear with a modern twist.
they like funky names for haircuts.
Yes.
Women generally.
Yes.
Like balayage is like there's a lot going on in that word just
Yes.
describing dark
Just
into
dark
light.
into light.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Bangs as well.
Bangs,
Like, we've talked about this
blonde.
before.
What's bangs?
Bangs is basically your fringe.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's just
Yeah.
a fringe.
Damn.
Oh, bangs, girl.
You got bangs, it's a fringe.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Did you know that, man?
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that shit.
Dude, you got to fucking.
There's different kinds.
We need to get out more.
You need to pay attention, dude. You need to pay attention.
One of my ex-misses was a hairdresser too, and I don't even know that
I'm
shit.
a hairdresser.
When were you a hairdresser?
At school, cut my mate's hair all the time.
Are you serious?
$10 a trim.
I'm sure we've talked about this.
Yeah.
I don't think we have,
We
honestly.
have on the podcast at least, but
Not on ours.
Do you think that Bangs, Tom?
I couldn't give you Bangs.
No, but you know, like Bangs, right? You know what I'm talking about. Do you reckon we start to see Bangs in rugby league football?
Now that I'd like to see.
Players playing with fringes, dude.
Imagine
Are we
Pappen
talking
using.
like shaved head and then fringe like?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like the one that sits above your eyebrows.
Yeah, I'd love to see Pappy with obviously the balayage mullet and then bangs on the front. Make that slacky.
Yeah, that would be Slacky if you listen to
Slacky.
He works hard.
Balayage into
Slacky
Bangs.
works his dick off.
Yeah. He does work
Balayage
his
into
dick off.
Bangs.
Yeah.
Well, his best was the 10th.
Oh
Hanging out at the bottom.
yeah. Trent Barrett with Benoit balls hanging out his ass.
You know, just quietly as well, did you see the Roosters 2002 grand final winning team that come together?
Like
Craig Wing hasn't
Oh,
answered that.
yeah, no.
How's he that hot?
No, he hasn't.
Also, Suwali is getting hotter by the second.
Yeah, dude, he's going to pick it up.
fucking
Minicello
good
is still
sort.
looking good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a different look about him too. Usually the beat doesn't, well, not in my case, doesn't play at all, but it plays for him, I think.
Oh, it plays.
It plays big.
The big plays.
The beat plays, it's like Ocean's 11, where he's like...
The nose plays.
Nose plays.
Yep.
And the beat plays for the great count.
It's actually
Minicello.
Ocean's 12, I think.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
Tom's the only man that can correct you when not knowing if he's correcting you correctly.
Could be right, could be wrong.
Could be wrong.
Who knows?
Might be Ocean's 14.
It could be.
You don't know.
It could be Ocean's 8 with Rihanna and Julia Roberts or something. Do your own research.
Now, but Suwali getting hotter by the day, but Craig Wing, oh my God, Craig Wing, far out. I can't believe how good looking he still is.
Yeah, he's hot.
Yeah, he's
warm.
He's
as warm
nice
as
to
it
look
gets.
at. He's nice to look
Him
at.
outside like an Italian cafe in Italy, and like his shirt slightly unbuttoned. And
Having an
Smoking
espresso,
darts, and
smoking
he's
a
just
cigarette.
bronzed up, ready
Bronzed
to
out.
go.
He
of
makes
his
me
mind.
want to smoke cigarettes.
And he'd just be sitting there like murdering piccolos, just pounding darts. And
Insane,
then
like-
he'd move into the heavier stuff
Yeah.
as the day went on, but he sits there all over and he just chats to everyone. He's
Yeah.
very like animated.
Yeah. Imagine him with an Italian
And he
accent.
speaks about philosophy a lot. Like,
Yeah.
what's the meaning of life?
Yeah.
People come and see him for advice and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, sit down.
He's sort of sitting in like the shade of an old monument in some sort of piazza.
Yeah, I think he's in a piazza.
He's in a piazza.
Does he hold his pinky up or down, do you think?
I think it's up.
I think
Is
it's
it up, operator?
up.
I think it's up. And I think he gets further up the more animated he is.
Well, I've heard that if he's really animated, it bends all the way
It does. It goes
It
all the
actually
way
can
back to his-
snap all the way back. He's double jointed.
That's, you know,
He's double jointed.
Yeah.
And so if he's
when
all
he's
the way
really
back,
going for
when
it.
he's really getting into his pinky's fucking back here.
Yeah. No, I've seen it in that piazza.
have you heard of simulation theory?
Well, let me tell you. But obviously not in an English accent,
No, well, it's Italian accent.
which I can't do.
No.
I can't do it, Shane. You know what? I do want to go at the end of the year to Europe. I've never been. I haven't really travelled that
Do you know
much.
what we're going to do if it goes ahead? Or did we say this last week? If there's rugby league in the US, Manly
Get
v
across there.
Rabbitohs, I'm going to that fucking game.
Mate, to film it. You know, I've had this idea for a while. I'm just going to say it. But I wanted to do this years ago. Bloke in a bar, and I get myself and someone else, and we travel around the world rating the best sports bars. So we go there, the local fans, like the hooligans at soccer, and we like interview them and like rate the sports bar out of 10. Like, you know, this is great. And that would be sick, I reckon.
We were thinking of doing it for regional Chinese restaurants.
We're not thinking of.
No, we're in
will.
We're in
Yes.
deep conversations with the Chinese Restaurant Guild, and we are regional Chinese Restaurant Guild.
Looking like we're being given that A-OK.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You've got
yeah.
the pass in the
well,
Chinese
we need to get
community.
a few things through, their sort of regulators, but it's looking like
And moderator.
yeah.
Where's the first stop then?
And simulator.
First
Dubbo Chinese. What's it called, Eddie?
We'll go to the Dubbo Golf Course, Chinese. We'd start there.
Yeah.
That's where we'd start. It's like
Start.
the spiritual home
Okay.
of Chinese in the regions.
Are you a honey chicken man?
I don't mind honey chicken. I don't mind honey
I
prawns
don't mind
either.
honey chicken, honey prawns.
My dad likes honey prawns. Big fan of honey
I
prawns.
like. Is it Mongolian beef or lamb?
Well, you know what you can get at the golf club? Sizzling. Comes out sizzling.
That
That's
is
what
great.
you want.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
don't touch it. It's that
There's
hot.
a
Don't
lot,
touch it. It's too hot.
there's a lot of theatre about that, which I like.
Well, I'm a man of theatre.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, if you give me a narrative, I'm going to gobble it up with a
It's the
spoon.
Chinese food version of like if you were at a club and they're bringing out like a magnum of Absolute with sparklers on it. That's the sizzling beef.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, ooh, look at that mad dog over there getting sizzling beef as they're walking through all the tables. You know, that's us sitting in a booth.
It sort of, it gives off the sense that you're about something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
get that sizzling Mongolian lamb, it's like, ooh, that boy over there.
What are our thoughts on getting happy birthday sung to you by restaurant people?
What
Listen.
about it? What?
Is that play on or cringe?
My sister does that a little bit. She tells people, she'll tell them that it's someone's birthday.
It's one of the great-
Just as a fucking...
Oh, like
Pranks?
as in a stitch up.
Yeah.
One of the great stitch-ups?
Yeah.
I think it's a stitch up. It's good. I don't think anyone ever enjoys having happy birthday sung to them.
Depends how many beers you've had.
Yeah.
How many blokes? I've had
How many blokes you've had?
That's
We get
true.
into it?
You love it. You're
Yeah.
stoked.
I don't
you're
mind belting it out.
But I don't like it. I don't like when it's you. You're a bit like, ugh.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? How long have people been singing happy birthday for? Couldn't be that old, surely. And what were they singing before that? Were they singing anything at all?
Well,
is there a forgotten happy birthday song?
I got something for you. It's so old that up until recently, it was actually copyrighted and you couldn't hear anything in movies. That's why in most movies before 2010, they only sing for He's a Jolly Good Fella.
What?
The statute of limitations.
Who owned the
only-
rights to it?
I have no idea.
So someone,
operator.
so someone
One
put
of the
that,
great operators.
Yeah.
and he copyrighted it.
It must
and
have been copyrighted, and the statute of limitations is now done, so it's fine now. But that's
so
why.
he's dead, the guy that did it, and he didn't
And he
pass
must
it
have
on.
been dead for 70 years, whatever the rule is.
Wow.
And,
Huge.
Yeah.
So he's robbed the world of movies having happy birthday sung in them.
Yeah. Well, old movie.
How old is Happy Birthday, the song?
Because what did they do 1,000 years ago? Where
That's
they
what I
just,
mean.
how do you celebrate?
Was there a song that we've forgotten? That
Yeah,
was
for
even
sure.
the forgotten
catchier?
song?
Well, it'd be
Forgotten
different
song.
languages, you know?
He's a jolly good fellow.
Well, hundreds of years ago, it could still have been English.
True.
How come we don't say jolly good anymore? I feel like that's a great word.
Jolly good.
I
It's
do.
jolly good.
I'll get into a jolly every once in a while. If I'm trying to limit the amount of times I say fuck, generally, jolly good game.
I've never heard you say jolly good.
Oh, you're just not listening, mate. Instead of a fucking good game.
Have you
that
heard him
one.
say it?
Oh, he's heard me say it.
He's never said
He
jolly in
says
his
it as
life.
well.
That was the first time.
You're a jolly good
Is
operator.
this a phantom jolly good story?
Nah, you just listen out. I'll drop him. Listen out. Get a jolly counter on me.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Well, you'd have to blow the fucking.
We wouldn't need to
cobbles
hire
off.
anyone because you
No.
never say
Ah,
it.
get a
Leave it at
jolly
fucking
counter.
zero in the
Keep
corner.
an eye out. Keep an ear out. Get the jolly counter going.
So it's been attributed traditionally to American sisters Patty and Mildred Hill in 1893, although
not that
there's
old at all.
claims the sisters composed. There's disputes about all this. But as I said before,
Happy birthday.
So it's not that old.
the song's in public domain now, but Warner Chappell Music had previously claimed copyright on the song, and in 2015, that was declared invalid. So that's, yeah.
What a piece of shit you have got to be to try and copyright Happy Birthday.
Or is it eyes up?
Yeah, it's eyes up, but you can still be a piece of shit and play
I wonder
eyes
when
up.
you know how when we sing it, it's not. It doesn't obviously sound good, and it's very happy birthday to you. Whereas I feel like when the first guy was he singing from the depths of his heart,
like opera, sort of
yeah, or like an R&B singer.
Was R&B
Not
probably
R&B, but
back
you
in
understand
there?
what I'm saying? That kind of depth into the
Yeah, yeah.
Well, when you
right.
draw it out, it sounds words like happy birthday. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If
no
you give
one-
it the real Australian.
Hey,
Hey.
who touches
Do you go hip hip? Are you a hip hip guy or are you a hooray guy?
bottom?
Yeah, do you lead it?
Do you lead?
No, I don't lead that.
You don't like
I
to
don't,
put
lead,
your...
I don't lead a happy birthday song. No.
I think it's also context. Like if it was your missus, you should be leading hip hips.
You got to grab that hip hip by the scruff
Because
of
you
the
got to
neck.
make sure the hip hip happens, right? You can't leave it up to someone else to control the hip hips if it's a missus or a family member.
Do you think that's the crossing of like say we're at the dinner?
Yep.
And it's my missus' birthday, and you hip hip. Is that offensive? Like you're offending my?
I don't know if it's
relationship with the
necessarily
missus?
offensive. It's maybe a little bit like I'm stepping on your patch.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
on my territory.
Like if you steal a hip hip from someone that should be hip hipping,
yeah.
then I think you're making a statement.
Yeah, but if we
You're
both,
saying something.
Like if I went to hip hip your missus, but you also hip hipped, then that's cool. But if you didn't do it, it looks bad for you.
Okay.
But you'll also see some people try to rush in the hip hip. Maybe go a beat off tempo
Yeah.
just to get in first
That's bad.
and set the tempo themselves. You know what I mean? They're setting their own tempo.
But in so doing, they sort of fuck themselves. because
Don't
you
hip hip
can't-
another bloke's missus is all I think we should be coming
Exactly.
to.
And you as the partner should be front foot in the hip hips. You got to be.
How often do you reckon you hip hip over
Well-
hurrah?
Well, whenever it's Steph's birthday, or if it's my kid's birthday.
But do you find yourself hip hipping at other people's birthdays?
I wouldn't necessarily say that I'd hip hip you. I wouldn't not hip hip you, but I'm not saying that I would hip hip you as sort of a rule of thumb.
But the funny thing about hip hipping is it's literally like a split second decision. I don't think you go in.
Are you hip hipping or are you
But
not?
I don't
Are
think you
gonna-
go in with like a plan to hip hip.
You got to
No,
feel the vibe.
no, it's a vibe.
I think
It's
it
a
just
vibe.
and
Yeah.
sometimes there almost is like an agreement in the room that responsibility has fallen
on your shoulder, squarely, or you and someone else in the room, but sort of make eye contact. Are we hip-hipping right now?
I tell you what is a bold call. Once the hip-hipping and the hurraying has concluded, do you come over the top with a he's or she's?
Jolly big fella.
I will never be that.
But you like saying jolly.
I like saying jolly. I don't like singing the song.
It's a big play there because like people are like, oh, we enjoyed it, but now we're trying to drag it out with a jolly good fella.
No. This is
what do you got there, Matt?
There are some people that I've seen this that do the hip, but then they're a fuckwit. So after the second one, everyone's waiting for the third one, and they don't say anything.
So they just drop the one.
Oh wow, that's bad.
That's pretty out there.
So they just do.
They go hip, hooray, hip,
Yeah,
hooray,
they leave the third. Maybe they don't understand how it works, though.
I think that's a troll.
You think that's a chaos? That's someone who like wants to see the world burn.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy that is.
Chaos theory. Is that I don't know.
Chaos
Probably.
theory.
Something like that.
I think it's in chaos theory. If you do that as a happy birthday, you're a part of the chaos.
You're a
theory.
part of it. Yeah.
Sure.
Now Warriors Raiders.
I think that the Raiders probably don't win.
the Raiders don't win.
Nah, Warriors bounce back.
Warriors have lost.
But what if I'm on the Raiders?
Oh,
But then-
actually, no. I take that back. Seeing who they've got out, Raiders win.
Yeah. So they lose Curran, who is so key to them. Talk
Yep.
about a bloke that's just ripped and teared his way into being one of the better locks in the game. Kossi, Penne, all out.
Dallin.
Aussie out, obviously. I think... Oh, man. I think the Warriors are going to come out absolutely firing. They still have Fanua Blake. They still have Lodge. I think the Warriors get the win.
Raiders bounce back.
Raiders.
Raiders?
Yes.
Oh, fuck
Okay.
Eddie. Jesus Christ.
Bulldogs versus the Roosters.
Match of the
Bulldogs. Naden Avarillo, Sia Manu Fanai.
Sia Manafanai.
Sia Manafanai. Return.
Sia Manafangai.
Roosters. Nangama comes in for Tupou. Hargreaves and Radley back on the, it says Ruben side, so back on the starting side, I think.
Rubbin.
Bulldogs, Roosters. Oh, run
Looks
side.
like Rubbin, though.
Looks like they're on that rubbin
rubbin
side, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sicko.
Yeah, sicko.
Sicko.
Scissor
Clearly
side.
mid-scissor.
Yeah.
Jesus
I
Christ.
think the Roosters will be relatively disappointed with their loss to the Dragons
Yes.
on Anzac Day.
Yes.
I think that they may well have got a bit of a spray for letting down the club, and I think they might be taking that out on the Bulldogs this week.
Yeah.
That's what I think could happen.
Yeah.
I think will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm backing the Roosters for a solid win.
Bounce back from the Trookies.
I think it'll be a solid. It'll be a solid win.
Trookies bounce back.
Eels, Cowboys. Brown's still centre. I don't know why Brown's moving to centre. I don't understand it. Anyway.
Brown.
What the fuck's that about?
Well, then Brown fucking front rower fame?
No, Dylan Brown.
Oh, Dylan Brown.
Of absolutely throbbing his dick off.
Who's
fame.
playing six?
Arthur.
Jake Arthur, Brad's son.
Yeah. Look, I understand. Like they do have an outside back shortage, and Dylan Brown is probably the best centre there at the moment. But I just think he's so good at six. You don't move it. Put someone a bigger.
It's not like they're losing though. You know,
I know, but
it's
like,
working.
I just think that like you need Brown and Moses and Gutho and Reed to be playing as many games as possible. You want to win prems, keep him in six. I don't know. They still won though. So look, Brad Arthur, as long as they're winning, he's making the right choices, I guess. As long as they're winning.
It's about how that plays out.
Well, the one thing that I spoke about
At
the
the
other
business
day,
end.
the positive from it, and that may be why he's doing it, is if someone does get injured later in the year, then Arthur has more experience and he's got some runs on the board. Whereas if he doesn't play any NRL and then Brown or Moses go down in the business end, he's coming in, you know.
Yeah.
So it could be a depth thing. And so as long as they're winning, it's like I'm giving these young guys more and more experience. It makes us a better club. That could be a reason.
Yeah.
And I honestly do believe that is a fair reason if it is the case. Like, the more you can give young guys a chance while still winning games of footy, the better. So even though I still personally would have Brown in six, I can understand where he's coming from with that, if that is the case. Eels, Cowboys, though.
Eels.
I
Definitely.
don't know. Cowboys have been pretty damn good.
I think that the Cowboys form, whilst it is good, it's like they're the best of a bunch of
Yeah, like they haven't played the best teams yet. This is a real test for the Cowboys. Like if they go out and play really well here, we're like, oh shit, they actually
They could definitely get an 8 spot though, the Cowboys.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. But I don't think they're on the Eels level.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I
it's
think
at home.
I think the Eels get the win.
Yep.
Night Storm.
Jesus Christ! When teams are fucking desperate for a win, they seem to come up against the
Storm,
the big boys. Well, the Storm
Rugby
or the
league
Panthers.
is not a friendly.
It's not.
beast
Would this be
sometimes.
7?
It was
in a
6 or
row.
7 in a row,
I think
yeah.
it's 7 in a row if
if
they lose this.
they basically will they most likely will now have started the year 6-2.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
they've
So
lost
it'll be
6
6 in a
games
row.
and only won 2 games, and it'll be 6 in a row.
Because that's what's obviously going to happen now.
And they're paying $9 at the
What
moment.
round is this?
This is
7.
round 8.
I was around 8.
Yeah.
So this would be 6 in a row.
Yeah.
To think
And,
that they
yeah,
they started so well, and now they're 6-2.
Wait, look, we've been saying this for a long time. Rounds
Imagine
1
saying
and
that
2
after their
don't make
second
it.
round win.
You never
Going, you're
think-
going to lose the next 6
Yeah,
games.
no.
Rounds 1 and 2
Possibly more.
do not count.
But
I feel
also,
sorry.
obviously, potentially, they could beat the Storm, maybe.
They could, no, for sure. They got the
Gagai
team on
out
paper.
helps.
It helps the
Yeah,
Storm.
that-
No, well, yeah,
that's-
it doesn't help anyone. Storm.
Doesn't help the Knights, that's for damn sure.
Look, I feel sorry for the Knights because they started so well, and now it's a season that was so joyful and they could celebrate. It's turned into a season of like, oh my god, like we really are struggling.
Did
So
I see Gagai tears the other day?
He was devastated. I don't know tears, but he was down, and so was a few of the other boys.
Understandably.
Tanner Boyd. Phoenix Crossland was quite distraught. It's going to be a really tough game. So if Knights can get the win, good on them. But I probably am back in the Storm.
I think they go big again.
Damn. Dragons, Tigers.
Tigers. I like the Tigers. They're good. And I also like Stafford Tower.
I'm sort of pumped for this game.
Yeah, it's
in
the
a weird
AMC
way.
Derby.
I'm on the Tigers bandwagon.
Yeah,
at the moment.
yeah.
I'm liking the rise.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's fun as
It's fun.
fuck.
It
It's
is
fun.
good
And
fun.
like, I love that the Tigers fans finally, like in the comment section, be like, "Yes, fucking oath."
but then
It's
the
been
Dragons, fresh off a Anzac Day win, they'd be fucking
There's no
pumped up.
fun yarn, though, with the Dragons.
No,
for
but I'm
me.
just saying they'll be pumped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, this is the DMC Bowl.
So there's people pumped. I'm on the Tigers though.
Yeah.
Definitely. Tigers into Norfoluma 2 or more.
Yeah, gotta go.
I'm gonna go Dragons.
Boo.
I want the Tigers to win because I want to get on that bandwagon, but I just think, sure, they're gonna go 3 in a row.
Yeah, dude, against
they
the
do that?
Dragons is a perfect
Yes. It's mate set up. They win this and then they lose next week.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll go Tigers.
There we go, Tigers.
there we go,
I'll
brother.
get on the wagon. Sends positive vibes.
Get on the wagon.
That's another episode done and dusted. You guys got any announcements? Anything to get out there?
Stock clearance. We got a
Tomorrow.
mini sale Thursday evening. We've got some Manly 13 plus jumpers, and then the clearance of some old like bounced out trackies, last dribbler t-shirts,
and then a
we've
major
got
sale in
big old
2 weeks.
hats and hoodies in a couple of weeks.
Hats and hoodies, couple of weeks. Be there or be square. Clearance sale about 6 p.m.
Yep.
So that's this Thursday. Make sure to be. That's tomorrow night. Bloke in a bar. Grab a case of Bloke in a bar from your local. Go to our store locator or go into an independent bottler and ask them, hey, could you order some from ALM or ILG? It's a beautiful, easy drinking beer. Also, we have a massive, the Bloke jerseys you see there. They may or may not be going on sale soon, but I'll keep you up to date next week with that. But we do have stuff at bloke.shop. So bloke.shop, we've got shorts, we've got shirts still. Go to bloke.shop, grab some. And as usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.
Boom.